Happy Friday. Welcome into another Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 live stream. Welcome to Philadelphia, home of apparently American Airlines. And I actually parked at the right gate, but probably because there's so many American Airlines here. It's one random Delta next to American Airlines. Competition is real. Welcome in, Master Copy. Welcome in, Will. We are at gate C26 today, here in Philadelphia. So today's hop is an APL. Well, we have two. We have a Charlie 26. We have the first flight, Philadelphia to Boston. And then the second flight is in Europe, which will be tons of fun. So I figured for the first one, we're going to do a CRJ. Second one, probably the 319. And we'll see how the day goes from there. I've been super excited to actually do these two flights because I really don't know if I've actually done a flight from Philly to Boston ever in Flight Sim 2024. I might have done it in 2020, but I don't think I've ever done 2024. So this will be a very first one. We're going to showcase the updated CRJ 2.1. And of course, we have FS traffic for our liveries and flight models. Beyond ATC also in the background. We are American 1776. Of course, that is the number that APL came up with for this Independence Day here in the United States. You know, it's there's not a lot to celebrate in the United States as of right now. It's kind of a bleak country to look at. A lot of countries are making fun of the United States, and you know, for rightful reasons. We are a little too proud of ourselves. I'll say that. I'll say America as a whole, we're a little too proud of what we believe we have accomplished. But it's what the entire world has accomplished that has allowed other countries, including America, to be more successful. And without the other countries, we would not be where we are here in America today. For the positives and the negatives, of course. Both factors. But we're not talking about politics today. We are talking about flight simming. Master Copy, this first flight I'm going to do off multiplayer. The next flight I'll turn on multiplayer. So if you want to join in Master Copy, at least do the hop on your end. And then the next flight we'll do group multiplayer for the next flight. I figured we'd just kind of start from the beginning and kind of see how we work our way out. But again, so first flight is Philadelphia to Boston. I'm taking the CRJ, 243 nautical miles. We're expecting runway 27 left. Arrival 33 left via the Roebuck 3 JFK arrival. I think I have my sensitivities dialed in pretty good with the CRJ. And all's looking pretty darn good on our end here. True bro, peace. So let's go ahead and hop in to this beautiful CRJ and get things rolling here, shall we? So we'll go ahead and bring up the EFB because we want to connect some power. So go down here to connect and bring that to connect as well. Go up top and DC master switches are all on. I do the pump fuel. And then we're going to hit this button once and then hold this button down for a couple seconds. You're going to see it pop up to start. There it goes. At this time, I also like to get my lights going as well. So we're going to get those nav lights rocking. I like to do the hydraulic pumps as well. This is not how you for sure do the CRJ startup. This is just the way I like to do the startup here in the CRJ. Once you have that going, you go down here and go to nav. Beautiful, grand. And then we can go back over here to the tablet and go to flight plan, import, send, set, aircraft. Sorry, wrong one. Performance. We can copy the performance init data to the FMS. We can set the payload in the sim. We can set our V speeds. 8 on the trim. Wow, 8 on the trim. That's crazy. And that should be grand. Let's go over down here and let's go execute. We're going to go to index, position init. We're going to go next page, grab the GPS, go back and drop it in there. And now this beautiful CRJ loaded itself pretty much for the flight plan. All we have to do now is the arrival and departure information. So departure, As I said, 27 left is what we're currently expecting. We'll see if Beyondatc cooperates with us today. And maybe it actually is updated, who knows. I'm going to go over to Boston. We're expecting 33 left in Boston. Via the Roebuck 3 JFK transition. Execute. Legs, all looking grand, beautiful. Perfect there. Let's go up top, make sure APU is looking grand. It is available. Perfect. Let's get on the comms for Beyondatc. Philadelphia clearance. A very good morning from American 1776. We are ready for IFR clearance to Boston. Yes, we're going to do another one in Europe today.
1776 Philadelphia clearance cleared to Logan Airport. Radar vectors ditch, then as filed. Maintain 4,000 feet. Expect flight level tree 10, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 1975. Squawk tree 460.
Alright, 4,000, and we're going to ditch.
Cleared to Logan Airport. Radar vectors ditch, then as filed. Maintain 4,000 feet. Expect flight level 310.
And then we're going to do 8 on the trim.
Departure.
Wrong direction.
1975. Squawk 3460.
8 on the trim.
American 1776.
Let's go over here to the side, go to aircraft, and remove all that stuff.
Contact ground 121.9er when ready for pushback or engine start.
Ground 121.9er when ready.
Daniel, welcome in. How are you? Doing really, really good on my end. What are the improvements in this update? The flight model. The flight model, huge improvement. Philadelphia ground, American 1776, ready for pushback and engine start. Yeah, the flight model for departure and landing are so much better. So much better. It is night and day. It really is. It is really impressive. It's what the plane should have felt like from day one. It's exactly what the plane should have felt like from day one. But, you know, hey, we eventually got there, and we should be just happy we have it to begin with. All right, we got a clearance. Pushback, face the south. So release to parking brake. Request to pushback, hold, all looking grand there. Let's go up top here, start the engine number 2. Engine 2 is firing up. Also, the engine startup super fast compared to the previous versions of this aircraft. Crazy fast. As you can see here, we're rotating, looking almost already up to 20. There's 20. Let's go on down here, introduce some fuel. While we're down here, let's go and get the thrusters set for reverse. Garen, welcome in. Where are we flying to and from today? We are going from Philadelphia in the CRJ, going to Boston. This is a Pilot's Life Chapter 2 event here on the Independence Day in America. Very cool that they do this. Let's go up here to engine number 1 startup. Looking good. And push back. I pushed back a little bit off the line, but I didn't have anything to go off for the guidance, so, you know, good enough. And rotation's looking good. Let's go to 20%. Looking grand. Bring up that. Perfect. Let's go ahead and set our flaps. Philadelphia ground, American 1776, ready to taxi to the active. EFB, no, nothing with this update. The update 2.0 had the EFB update.
Request pushback. American 1776, runway 27 left taxi via November. Hold short runway 27 right.
Via November.
Runway 27, left taxi via November.
So we're going straight. Whoa.
Hold short runway 27
Going straight on its own.
American 1776.
Taxi lights on. Here. Engines are looking grand, all on. Let's go ahead and turn off that, turn off that. Get the AC on, get the probe heat going. Yep. All good there. Let's go on down below here. Stab trim, mock trim, yaw dampers. Let's go ahead and get our squawkage going. And we're going to switch this over to standby 1. Let's do the call. Alright, Kevin, let's prepare for taxi. Master copy still loading passengers. GSX, I assume, huh? Oh, can you put a banner? Yeah, absolutely. Sorry. Let me go and get that going. Let's see. Volanta. Bam.
American 805 at gate Alpha 2.
And KBOS.
American 805 at Philadelphia ground. Pushback and engine start approved.
Okay, banner should be up now. My apologies.
Pushback and engine start approved.
Alright, we're going to taxi November, which is straight here. We're holding short runway 27 right on this departure. Or taxi clearance, I guess. It's not departure.
American 1776, cross runway 27 right at Kilo 4. Continue taxi via November, Papa.
How is FS traffic working with Beyondatc ETC?
Cross runway
I'm
27 right
pretty
at
happy
Kilo
with
4.
it. I'll be
Continue
honest, I'm
taxi
very
via
happy with it.
November, Papa. Sierra 1,
I used it
American
before with 2020.
1776.
This is my first time using it in 2024, so it's been a long time, and I've had some system changes, so it's really hard for me to say if it's actually... let's see, where we're going, Papa... No, okay, November Papa. It's hard for me to really say if there has been a performance increase, or if it's just placebo, or, you know, if it's just the different hardware I'm using. But it does seem to be better in performance, consistent performance, than FSLTL on my system. Again, it's all based on your individual system, so don't expect a gain, but if it happens, cool. I personally like the models, and I like the liveries a bit better here in FS Traffic. I do miss the cargo stuff though, so FS Traffic does not have cargo. So if you're missing seeing your UPS, your FedEx, GHL, you're not going to see that here in FSLTL. That's the unfortunate part for sure. Very unfortunate part. Going to watch the complete flight tomorrow as it's down late. Oh, well, thanks for coming in, Daniel. Appreciate it. And master copy's leaving runway 9 left. 9 left.
1776. Have a good day.
That's weird. APL? Alright, here we are coming on up to runway 27 left. Are you doing a return leg? Beyondatc used to give me issues going into Philly before the update. Want to see... Garrett, no, we're not doing a return leg. We are doing a Europe flight after this. There's another event that APL is doing. Philadelphia Tower, very good morning from American 1776. We are holding short runway 27 left, ready to go. Landing lights are coming on.
American 1776, Philadelphia Tower, wind 020 at 11. Gus 19er, fly heading 270, runway 27 left, cleared for takeoff.
270, clear for takeoff.
Fly heading 270, runway 27 left, cleared for takeoff. American 1776.
Will's going to stay with FSLTL. Yeah, you know, if you already own FS Traffic, you know, I bought it a while back ago, so if you already own it, might as well stay with it, right? FSLTL if you don't. But if you have FS Traffic, might as well give it a shot, because it might be beneficial. Alright, we're going to line up here. Let's get our flight directors on. Looking grand. Winds, we got some heavy winds here coming from, actually, it looks like it should have been the reverse runways. Master copy might be right. I'm getting kind of, it's a crosswind, so I guess either one would work, but definitely the winds is slightly behind me. Alright, toga set, checked, engines are stable. Let's go fly. We're going to bring the yoke over to the right a little bit, because it is a gusty departure. See if we can maintain center line the best we can. So you're going to notice on this departure, the nose won't come up on its own, which it used to with the previous version of the CRJ. It's a lot more manageable. Here comes V1. The nose would normally come up by now. I'm bringing it up on my own this time. Just a little bit of a pull. Very smooth departure. Gear going up. Alright, and apparently real-world pilots just to throw on the AP pretty darn quick on departure. So we're going to go heading mode, speed mode. Let's bring up that speed. Let's go 210, and then we're going to engage AP. AP is on.
American 847, Philadelphia Tower,
Nose coming down.
20 at 11, Gus 19er, fly heading 270, runway 27 left, cleared for
Speed's
takeoff.
building up.
Fly heading 270, runway 27 left.
All right, flaps up one notch. I'm gonna go ahead and bring our altitude all the way up to flight level 310, as we eventually will get clearance up to that, and I don't have to worry about fiddling with the plane.
American 1776, contact Philadelphia departure. Have a good flight.
All right, beautiful.
Contact Philadelphia
Full flaps
departure,
up.
American 1776.
Go on down here. Reverses are off. Let's take a look on the outside. This beautiful Philly.
1776, 3100.
There's our beautiful departure here out of Philly.
American 1776, Philadelphia.
Irishman, welcome on in. Happy 4th.
Radar contact. Climb and maintain 15,000.
15,000 on departure.
Climb and maintain 15,000,
Man, altimeter 30, this sim looks
American
amazing.
1776.
Just amazing.
American 1776, turn left, heading 105.
105.
Turn left, heading 105, American 1776.
Philadelphia
Very cool departure out of Philly.
Good day, 1,400 feet.
I have no idea where the Liberty Bell and all that jazz is.
47, Philadelphia departure. Good day, radar contact.
I remember watching a movie called
1,000 feet. Altimeter
uh,
09er.
National Treasure with Nicolas Cage, and it was about the Declaration of Independence. Someone stole it, and they had to steal it back, and they went all over to, you know, of course, you know, all those spots that have to do with the United States and building its independence. And it was cool because they went to Philly and they went to the Bell, and you know, they had some mystery they had to solve there. It was really cool. It's a fantastic show. I guess there was like a TV show. I didn't watch it because it didn't look so great, and the original cast wasn't really there. I think maybe one person was there, but not the entire original cast. And the second movie wasn't as good either. But it was a fantastic movie. Smooth FPS, man. Smooth and stutter-free. I did some minor adjustments. I'm still doing some further research. Before I give any of my trade secrets out, I want to make sure they're concrete and actually working. So I have lots of testing to do. Where's our oh shoot, we're way past 10,000. Alright. Landing lights are off, taxi lights are off. We're gonna get probably dinged on this flight for that. Let's bring up our speed 250.
Contact Washington Center 125.45. Take care.
And we haven't gotten clear direct to ditch yet.
Center on 125.45, American 1776.
I think I'm still saying, like, at least on my system, FS traffic seems to be better performing than FSLTL. Again, it's going to be system to system because there's so many different variables in that. But at least in 2024, FS traffic seems to be better on my system. I need to do a comparison video to verify that. But it's also going to be very hard to do such things because, you know, they got to do the same airport, same time of day, all that kind of jazz. Alright, clear direct to ditch.
Roger. We'll
Nav's
head
in
direct
there.
ditch, then resumo navigation, American
Getting on course.
1776. Thanks.
American 1776, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
American 1776, contact Washington
Looks
Center,
really, really good. Just put in 2 new 32 gigs of VRAM. I gotta check out FS traffic with the NTZ playing catch up.
American 1776.
Doing all the updates. Oh yeah, all the if you don't fly consistently, or you know, you take a vacation or whatever it be, there's always a billion different updates.
Good day.
A billion different updates.
15,000 for flight level 310 direct ditch.
I'm still kind of in that contemplating level of, do I want to do a complete reinstall of Windows, like a clean reset? As of right now, last week I was probably in like 60% saying, yeah, I was going to do that. And now I'm probably closer to like 30% that I'm going to do it. Because it seems like a lot of the issues I've found have been rectified in some form. I don't know. So what I've done is I went through the task manager and looked at all processes that were running on my PC. And I found there were several processes in there that I don't ever use. You know, some background apps I never really ever use. So I went ahead and I uninstalled those, so those are no longer running, which freed up just a little bit of performance off the system. And I feel like that little bit of improvement has helped the PC overall with consistency. I'm still working on the monitor thing. So my auto HDR video I put up the other day, I still stand behind that. That does help, but I still do experience some of the issues that happen. And I can simply turn off my OLED monitor, turn it back on, and that stuttering issue that I see, you all don't see on the stream, but I see, is gone. So that tells me it's definitely something to do with the monitor itself, and there may be an issue with the monitor. So right now what I'm testing is HDR off, complete HDR off, and to see if that rectifies the situation. But it primarily happens in Flight Sim. It's hard for me to say if it only happens in Flight Sim because I primarily only use Flight Sim. That's where most of my time goes to within this PC. So it's a test. We're going to see, and if I do feel it is a monitor issue, then I'll contact Alienware and see if we can do a warranty exchange on it. Had I bought it from Micro Center, I might have been able to just go that direction, but I did not buy it from Micro Center, and I didn't get an extended warranty through Best Buy, where I bought it from.
541, contact New York Center 18975. Have a good one.
Just finished NVIDIA, working on GSX and APL now. Oh yeah, APL had a small update. Very small, minor update. All fake news. So we'll see what happens. I also, it's such a weird thing to
American 1776, contact New York Center
tell if I'm seeing, like I look on the stream, it looks super crisp and clear.
American 1776.
But I know also with OLED monitors, like there is that
New York Center, American 1776.
the flickering you're gonna have, right? That's just kind of how it all is. Master copy just took off. So it's such a difficult thing for me to like nail down to know what the problem is, per se. So I really just need to do a lot more experimenting with it. A lot more. Okay, so the next flight, like I said, we have a second flight. The update for APL, they changed, so they had some issues with their Gmail account, so I think the thing they changed was they just added in the new email address and stuff like that. So very, very minor. I don't think anything changed with the actual software for this update. Mastercap, I just saw your message in Discord. My mistake, I didn't see it beforehand, but that's the second flight, which I was just going to grab. So the second flight today, so if you are available and you want to, we're going to do a group flight for the next one. EIDW to EGLC, which will be a lot of fun, I think. A lot of fun. And I'm not sure, let me see which airlines and which planes do that. I'm not familiar enough with Europe. EIDW, oh, what is it? EIDW. So we're going Dublin, and we're going to, where are we going, Manchester? No, London City. Alright, so it looks like BA, British Airways City Flyer, and the 190. Well, we're not taking the 190. I'm thinking the 319. I'm thinking I'm going to take the 319. Dublin to London City is the next flight. Yeah, definitely not taking the 319. So again, next flight. I also, should we switch over to a different server? That E server was kind of causing some problems on the group flight. So how about we jump over to the South? What is it? The South Asia, Southeast, Southwest server, whatever. The Asia server. What's your thoughts on that? Let's see. Barry, welcome in. Welcome on in, Barry. Southwest? Okay, yeah. So let's do that. Asian Southwest. Let's do that server for the next flight. That'll be our group flight. So if you just jumped in like Barry, the next flight will be... what are we doing? We're doing Dublin to London City. Group flight. Flights in 2024. And we're going to use the Asia Southwest server. Will says, I was thinking of the other day, there's no other game on my PC other than 2024 that uses mods and apps internally. Every PC is different, so it's a wonder actually the sim's working to my liking. Yeah. If that's the only thing on your system that's using anything externally, absolutely. That's where you'll get that consistency. Definitely better performance with the new sticks. Irishman, fantastic. Glad to hear. 319 London City is a challenge. Great. Yeah, that'd be fun. And London City is free in the sim, right? Isn't that a free, a default airport? I have, yeah, Asian server. Yep, that's the one we're gonna do, Barry. That seems to be the most consistent, I guess, overall, because less people use it. So I want to try that one to see if the planes stop popping in and out.
1776. Contact New York Center 118.975.
I have the MK Studios Dublin,
Center on
which the last time I flew into Dublin or flew out of Dublin,
1776.
a little bit of performance hit. Nothing terrible, but just a little bit of performance hit.
New York Center, American 1776.
No other game is using apps and mods, you know. On my system, I think that's the case as well. Well, technically no, because I also play Forza, which uses SimHub for my butt kicker. So technically that's an external app.
Contact New York Center 121.125, Moxie 541.
I think that actually might, well, Witcher 3, but that's all internal mods now. What's that? What the updated to Witcher 3? That's all internal mods now. Yeah, I think actually Flight Sim might be the only one that I actually have mods for nowadays. Just have one thing left to sort out, and Wing Wing didn't help with the scenario. What happened, Irishman? What's the one thing to sort out? Alright, we're almost at our cap for altitude, 31,000 feet. And again, we're expecting runway 33 left for the arrival. We'll see if that changes. Because that wind, I don't know. The wind looked like it could have been either way for the runways. For the departure. So as of right now, I'm going to go and plan runway 33 left for the arrival. 1107. Oh, actually, I can't do it through here, can I? I have to do it down here. So I'm going to go radio 1107. 1107. Minimums, let's drop this dude down a little bit. Minimums are 216, so 210. .210 set. Okay, pretty much set at this point for the arrival. I'm going to do a 180 up in the sky, coming in for the arrival. Barry's already comfy in bed. Yeah, you're a few hours ahead of us here in the America. Bring back the throttle a little bit so we don't overspeed too much. Okay, looking grand. 50-80 or 50-90, and then the Wind Wing drops their bombs at the expo. I need to stay focused. Well, the Wind Wing stuff, it probably won't be coming out into the winter time. I think they said winter time, didn't they? I think they said winter time. Here in the US at least, so December. So you got some time, Irishman. You got some time. I'm very much considering getting the FMC. I think it's kind of high on my list now. I think the FMC is pretty darn high on my list of going over there and getting that dude. I think it'd be kind of nice to have, and you can use it for every plane. It wouldn't make sense, obviously, for every plane, but you can use it for pretty much every plane, thanks to MobiFlight. So I'm leaning pretty hard on that. I'll make my decision here after this weekend. Kind of look at the finances, see where I'm sitting, and see if I can spare $100 and whatever to grab that. But outside of that, like, I know we have the 757, the 747.
American 1776, New York Center. Expect Roebuck Tree, runway 27.
Oh, runway change. Expect the Roebuck 3, runway 27, American 1776. Alright, runway change. Okay, so that means radios are 11.3 now. Pop that in there. 11.3. Pop that in there. Beautiful. Minimums are 460. That's interesting. $460 set there. And then let's go to departure arrivals. We're on arrivals, runway 27. ILS 27 via the Roebuck 3. And execute. And looking good. Let's make sure we're on course here. Clear out that. Go to leg. We're going direct to JFK. Execute. And let's go to direct. Direct to JFK. Execute.
Contact New York Center 121.125.
And then let's go up here to nav.
Contact New York
Nav
Center
is
121.125.
good. Okay, cool.
American
Just making sure that's all good.
1776. Have a
Will
good
coming in with
day.
the 5 gifted memberships. Will, thank you so much for all the support
New York
here.
Center, American
ATC Sweden,
1776, flight level
Twisted,
310.
what's that? Eamon, Andrew, and King Bob's got a gifted membership to the channel here. Thanks to Will. Thank you so much, Will, for all the support here on the channel. Truly appreciate it. Merry Christmas to me, Irishman says. When's the throttle out? Yeah, I'm guessing December. When will the throttle... hold on. You got 64 now, so don't worry. You got 64 now. What am I missing? You got 64 now, so don't worry. You love your 319. Who you kidding? You love your 64 now. You love your 64 now. You love your 319. Who are you kidding? Are we talking about the FMC? Oh, I think I was going to talk about planes. I forgot where I was now. No Barrier Master. Sorry, guys. Maybe next time. So, okay, yeah. So we have a 747 coming out. We have a 757 coming out. We have a 220 coming out. And then, of course, there's some other, GA stuff that eventually will come out as well. The question comes down to, and I was having this conversation with a friend, with a coworker, but when I think about buying a plane, I have to really think about it realistically. How often will I use that plane? And my algorithm behind it is, I made a video about this not too long ago, but it's as long as I put in $1 per hour, or sorry, $1 per hour. So for example, the iFly 737, I think it was like $70 when it came out. I have way over 70 hours, but if I put in $1 per flight hour, which means I did 70 hours worth of flight time with that one plane, I'm satisfied. And I use this number the same as I use it in like video games. So, if I buy a $60 game, as long as I put in 60 hours into that game, I'm satisfied.
Descend via
Right.
Roebuck Tree
And that's just
arrival.
kind of like
Logan
my
Airport
personal
landing runway 27.
dollar per hour kind of
Altimeter
thing.
29999er.
I don't know.
American
It may make 0 cents
1776.
for some people, but it works really well for me. It's no different than like going to a movie. I get a movie ticket for like $12. That means it's, anywhere between $5.50 to $6 an hour, right? And I feel that's a reasonable to go to a movie and experience that. That doesn't include the popcorn. you know, or drink or candy or you know anything like that, because that's where the price really gets crazy expensive.
American 2712, turn right, heading 305.
Okay, so we're clear for the Roebuck 3 arrival, 27. Gone down here. Where's our top of descent? Right there. So we're almost there. So Roebuck 3, runway 27.
JetBlue 209er, turn right, heading
6,000 for the
305.
altitude, so let's go ahead and put 6,000 in the
Turn
box.
right, heading 305, JetBlue 209er.
Alright, 6,000 is set. We'll go ahead and start our descent now. Let's go ahead and do 1,500 in the initial descent. Bring back the throttle a little bit. Now this plane, again, does not have auto throttle, so we have to manage that ourselves, right? Maybe I'll do that $1 an hour. 2 rounds of golf lost me 80 bucks. Holy smokes, 80 bucks for 2 rounds of golf? I think the last time, I've never done real golf. I've done mini golf. And I want to say that's like 15 bucks, you know, for a round of golf. That's not too bad.
American
Barry says Saturday's
1776,
coming, maybe
contact
do
Boston
some
Center
drinks and flying
132.3.
tomorrow. Maybe do some drink and flying tomorrow. Okay, yeah.
Center on
Tomorrow I'm heading
132.3,
down south here in the
American
U.S., or in
1776.
Illinois. We're going to go visit a friend. Super excited. Haven't seen him for a few months.
Boston Center, American
Um,
1776. Good day, descending via Roebuck
And
Tree, flight level
I'm going to visit a
300.
city in southern Illinois that I've never been to, so it'd be kind of cool to see and go to a place to go eat, just hang out. So I'm super excited. "19-hole Joe." Yeah, I haven't been mini golfing. Boy, it's been 7 years probably since I've done that. Which I know there are plenty here where I am, which I just haven't gone. You know, one was the health issues, 2 was the income. You know, after dealing with my initial diagnosis and stuff and paying all the initial medical debt, you know, that wiped me out. And, you know, it just kept coming, bill after bill after bill, and taking leave from work and all that. So it was really difficult financially for a long while there. It wasn't until a few months back where I actually started feeling more comfortable financially, where I feel like I can buy, you know, a $60 plane, or buy, you know, a new piece for my PC and not feel like I'm drowning in bills. So, now that with that said, I might be able to go mini golfing at some point. Spend the $15. It's rather crazy as you go through life, because you know, there was definitely a point in my life, and this is before all my medical stuff, but it's like, you know, my wife and I, if we want to go have dinner somewhere, you know, at a nice restaurant or something, we could do that and not have to think about, well, can we afford, you know, bills for the rest of the week. If we want to go see a movie, we didn't have to think about it, well, do we have the money for that? But after, you know, all my health stuff, we were cash strapped. It was one of those things where, like, well, we can go to Wendy's today, or we can afford groceries for the week. You know, we were in a tight situation. It was really, really tight. And I always had a little bit of money in the account, but I also had that was, you know, the emergency funds. That was the money you don't touch because of something happened. You know, you always had the credit cards and all that jazz, but I always made sure there's still that money in my account, and I never dipped below a certain number. I always kept it in that point, because you never know what might happen. And even to this day, like, I have that money in there, it's sitting in there, it's looking good. Sinbit World, welcome on in. Thank you so much for this event. This event is very, very cool. We're actually doing 2 events today. We're doing the Philly to Boston, and Sinbit World, thank you for the subscription. So we're doing the Philly to Boston right now, so the American 1776 and the CRJ. We're also going to do the second event for today, which is Dublin to London City. And we're going to try taking a 319, or at least I am. That's going to be a group event on the Asia Southwest server. Is it Southwest? I keep on thinking it's Southeast. Is it Southeast? So I'm super excited about that. I can't spend nothing right now. Taking the wife to Aruba. for her birthday in August. Oh, that's awesome. That's freaking awesome, Master Copy. Yeah, we're let's see. So we're just doing our little trip tomorrow. That's only a 2.5-hour drive, so it's nothing crazy. And we are, trying to plan for our big trip next year, but we're kind of in a weird spot with that. And I've talked about it before, but like, the U.S. is in a bad situation, and I don't want to plan for a international trip out of the U.S. and have issues with coming back or even leaving. So we might postpone our trip to see what happens with further politics here in the U.S. and we'll see what happens. We'll see. Either way, next year for sure we're going to Minneapolis for the expo. That's a done deal. And I'll do some vlogs and all that jazz. It'll be really, really fun, and whoever else can make it's gonna be fun. Hopefully I can get P2 to come down from Canada to join, because that'd be tremendous fun. Every Wi-Fi I had cost me 100 euros a day, so enough for myself now. That's awesome. Costing me an arm and a leg. Yeah, that's part of life. Alligator Alcatraz for sure. Oh my gosh, yeah. I don't want to get into the politics stuff, but it's a wild time to be an American. It's crazy. It's got another year, another 3.5 years of craziness, and hopefully it will calm down at that point. Oh yeah, Master Copy, you're talking about making the trip as well. Yeah, it'd be so much fun. I'm so excited. I'm still trying to persuade my wife to actually go with me to at least a Friday event at the expo. I think she'd really think that it'd be cool. Just to kind of see all of Flight Sim. She's walked by and she's seen me, do my little Flight Sim. She's been in the house. I'm streaming here. Like on Sunday, we're doing our group flight. But I don't think she quite understands the level of detail within the sim. And Master Copy, I see you on the I see you on APL. Let's bring up APL.
American 1776
and let's do auto follow off. Let's zoom on in. And here's Master Copy, right there. Flying to 320, doing the same flight we are, Philly to Boston. We're up here. That's so cool. I love this feature. I love this feature. And then we saw another friend of ours, well, at least mine, over here in Europe. Who's over here in Europe? We have Irishman. Irishman's doing a flight right now. Very cool. In the 320. We're going to be up here next for our next flight. This is going to be a group flight, Dublin to London City. London City. I don't know where London City is. Down here, right, probably? That's where London is. So that's going to be our next flight. You can see a lot of people are on the ground there in Dublin. Look at that. Dublin. Very, very cool. I love that. That's awesome. Alright, looking good on descent. We're looking probably a little bit much on the descent, so we're going to bring it 10,000, or sorry, 1,000. And let's see. It's a great time to be an American. What are you talking about? Limp says it's a great time to be an American. What is that cool app? Simbit World. Yeah, I have no idea. It's just this little tiny career, it's a nothing. It's a nothing. That's one of the coolest things. I talked about it on Sunday that I was kind of getting a little bored with it. And it happens with every career mode. But I think I've kind of gotten out of that funk already. One thing is the events. The events really help change things up, because you don't have to leave. You don't have to leave the company you're with if you want to go fly a Europe flight, or if you want to go fly New Zealand or something like that, because the events have that opportunity to do that. You can also, in a pilot's life, do a free flight, and or what's it called, a flight. You can purchase a flight, which means you can fly any route you'd like. You just got to buy it for $50 or something like that. With it's the currency within APL. It's not your real $50, which is crazy. They'd be making bank right now.
Boston Center.
But that's
American
also a nice feature. So if
1776,
you're kind of bored with
descending
flying,
via
for example, with me, with
flight
flying
level
with
194.
United, you can certainly do that option or do the events, which is really, really awesome. But I think on Monday, I'm going to roll back from the 10 hours of flight requirement down to five flights. And I think that will allow me to do more kind of, because I could do 5 United flights a week. That's no problem. That's a piece of cake. The 10 flight hours can be a struggle. Although, as I said, I want to jump and do longer flights. You know, I've always talked about liking flights that are within 250 to 350 in range, right? But I'm open to maybe doing longer hauls so that I can use the 777, use the 350 more in their capacity. We all just got to get a 10K pay raise. Not complaining whatsoever. More money for simming. Yeah, right? You get 10K and it's all... So, I was talking with my wife and, you know, we're talking about the whole lottery. You know, if you won the lottery, what'd you do? And I said, well, for sure, like, I'd keep my system I have now. I'd get a 5090, you know, do some minor tweaks to it, but I'd keep my same base PC. And it would just be Flight Sim. And then, of course, I get a motion platform system, right? And it'd be just like Will said. I think it was Will. Like the PC would be just Flight Sim, and then I have a second PC, and that PC would be kind of a mixture of like racing sim, and you know, just other games as well. That'd be what the second PC would be for. But yeah, 10K would definitely go towards that. Simba World says you can do free flight tracked, but no XP and no money. Yeah. Which is, wait, can you, the free, wait, hold on now. Tools. Oh, yeah. The random flight generator. Yeah, absolutely. I forgot about that too. Yep. So you can do, let me bring that up real quick. So here you go to tools, and this is the random flight generator. So this is within the app itself. There's also, they have another one that's, I think it's just on, it's probably on their website and also on flightsim.to, but it's called Random Flight Generator, and it's pretty much this here. So you can put in like distances, you can put in AO codes, etc., and do a flight. Again, this, like he said, this doesn't include XP or money. It's just for fun. Kind of just tracks your flight, which is really nice to have. The one I was talking about, if you go to shop, and that's under flight tickets. Oh, I can't do it right now. But you click on flight tickets, and then you can, I don't remember what the screen looks like for sure, but like you can, I think you put in your departure and arrival airports, and it gives you a list of all the routes, all the airlines that do that. So, very, very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, APL is one of the coolest things. So I have a question. Since you're in chat, and I've mentioned this before on the stream. I don't think you were in the chat, though. Why use FSUIPC and not use SimConnect? Is it because of like X-Plane and because of P3D? Because I think you also support P3D. Is it because is that the reason? Because on air, I know they use SimConnect. I don't know if they support. Don't they support X-Plane? I can't remember. I'm very curious if you're able to at least share it in chat. No pressure by any means. All right, bring back the throttle a little bit at 15,000, so we can see our runways here.
Boston Center, United 721 Heavy, descending via Ocean 5.
Oh, that is why. Okay, for X-Plane and for P3D. Gotcha. Okay. I've always just been curious. I have nothing against FSUIPC. It's fantastic. It's fine. We've been using Flight Sim First Officer, which we'll maybe use for the next flight. And, you know, and that uses FSUIPC as well. We started with it and stuck with it. Okay, yeah. Perfectly understandable. So what I do, and you can do this, it has the option within a pilot's life as well, is when you first install APL, you can have it automatically launch FSU IPC along with APL, right? So you can have it within the exe file. It also will make a batch file if you want to go that route as well, so that when you launch up Flight Sim, it will launch it up on the background. Now I don't have either one of those on because some flights I don't do with APL, some I do, most I do. But for what I do is with my Stream Deck, I use a multi-action key. And what that multi-action key is, it allows me to hit one button on my Stream Deck and it launches both APL and FSU IPC. And if I really want to go one step further, I can make another button and add in FSFU, for a Flight Sim First Officer, and it will launch all three of those at once, which is a nice handy feature. So that's what I use on my system. Maybe in APL v3 we will switch to the Sim Connect. Who knows? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with FSU IPC at all. It's fantastic. It's fine, and the developer updates it very often. So it's always just one of those questions. Like, it's cool to hear from the developer when they're working on certain things, and why they go this route, and if they ever decide to switch over to something else. Irishman says, I had to hook my ultra-wide monitor back up. The smaller side monitor was killing me. Why would you use this? Okay, hold on now. Irishman, why did you switch to a smaller one? Why did you switch to the smaller one? I don't remember hearing about that news. So we have Rhode Island coming up, the home of Flight Sim Expo 2024. That's, is this Providence? Yeah, I think this is Providence right here. So we did a flight from there not too long ago. That's very cool. The thing about Flight Sim that is really neat is that the more you fly, the more you get used to the world. And for me, it's US primarily. So it's cool to experience all these different places and be like, yeah, I've flown over that. I know where that is. Yeah, this is Providence down here. Remember, because we pushed back from here, and then we taxied to whatever this runway is. We took off, did our flight. Very cool. What's this airport? North Kingstown. I think I've departed out of that airport before with On Air. I think so. Alright, we gotta jump back in because we're almost at 10,000. I was pressing a button for 30 years and I'm still here. I was pressing a button for 30 years and I'm still here. Alright, range coming down. Okay, looking really good. We should be on the ground here. That's another cool thing about APL, is it tells you the ETA. It tells you the ETA. And so when I did my so I talked about it a few weeks back, or I guess a few days back, I did a flight with Star Alliance, so Virtual Airlines Star Alliance, and I was fine. I was great. But one thing I really missed was the ETA. And I know you can get the ETA within the plane itself, and the plane is likely more accurate because it knows the arrival runway and all that jazz, where APL does not. I really missed that ETA. I missed seeing the METAR right there. I love being able to have access to all that information right there on the fly, and that's a huge benefit to use APL. Anyway, happy BBQ Day for you American people. I moved my giant curved to be in line with the Alpha. The ultra wide could not fit on the deck. I hooked up a smaller monitor so it would fit on the desk. Drove me nuts, so I bought a side table. hooked the wide back. Yeah. And see, and that's always the issues when you get into different peripherals, because so I had bought how long ago? A month, a year and a half, maybe longer. I can't remember exactly. But I had bought the So I'm going to bring that VS up a little bit more. I had bought the Thrustmaster Bowwing yoke. Okay, bought it off Amazon. And the yoke is cool. It's really cool. I really, really liked it. It felt really, really natural. I think it had a better sensitivity aspect than what the Honeycomb Alpha has. And everyone knows, absolutely love my Alpha. But for my setup, it was pretty tough to get it right, because the Thrustmaster yoke, it's down lower to the ground, and it's kind of in your area of sensitivity. And to try to kind of find a comfort zone with that, for me personally, it was a little difficult. My other issue with the yoke was that the handles were like a harder plastic, and I never felt comfortable holding it, whereas the Alpha has, it's obviously still plastic, but it has like a rubbery or a soft plastic skin, and the ergonomics just feel a lot more natural when I'm holding the Honeycomb Alpha compared to the Thrustmaster yoke. So I ended up returning that Bowwing Thrustmaster yoke. As much as I really liked it, it just, for my setup, it wasn't ideal. And it's the same thing I've talked about with the FlightSim.com yoke.
American 1776, contact Boston approach 120.6.
The yoke is really, really cool. And
Contact Boston approach, American
the force feedback really, really
1776
neat.
CU.
And I'm sure it's even better now as they've had more time to update the software.
Boston approach, American 1776.
But for my
Today,
setup,
8,700
to have to
feet, we
remove
also
that
on
big,
board.
bulky, heavy yoke when I'm not flight simming, especially back then when I wasn't flight simming as much as I am now, it was a pain in the butt. You know, it was a really big pain in the butt. It's also loud and noisy, and I didn't like that. So I had to think about, like, what's going to be better for me long term. You know, and I found myself gravitating towards using that Honeycomb Alpha more and more and more. And I was like, well, you know, this really expensive, really, really cool yoke is going to waste. I'd rather go to someone who's going to take advantage of it. So I got rid of it, and the person that bought it, hopefully he's having a blast with it. So these are all kinds of things you have to think about. The same thing, you know, when I've been thinking about the Moza yoke, like, it looks really, really cool, and I think it'd be really fun to have, but with my setup, is it really ideal to have? And I keep telling myself, not really. Now, the Moza side stick, that seems pretty cool. That one I could fit. You know, a side stick is easy to fit. It's just the question then of, I'm going to lose a bunch of my buttons and switches that I love on my Honeycomb Alpha. So, you have that factor to play in as well. Which is why I'm kind of waiting to see what happens with Meridian. I've talked about it a billion times. Waiting to see what happens with Meridian. Because I'm putting my hope that Nikki is going to launch high quality products at a reasonable price, like he's talked about, and that they're going to be stellar products. So those peripherals might be my next hardware, but we'll see. We'll see. All in due time. Right, just passing, getting close to passing 7,000. Airport's right there. It's a really good weather day here in Boston. This whole trip was really good weather. I'm not sure if the weather is in, well, we got windy. It's a windy landing here in Boston. I'm not sure if the weather, though, is in Europe. We're going to find out here in a little bit. We'll do a sim cycle, though. Master copy's still on the arrival, so we'll make sure he can catch up and join us in Dublin. I also need to verify that London City is included in the base sim, or if I have an add-on, because I think I bought an add-on at one point. Orbex, I think, has one. Alright, bring that down a little bit.
Brickyard 4716.
Hopefully next expo, Meridian will really have, actually have real products. Yeah. I'm with you, excessively salty. Like the mock-ups, they look cool, but mock-ups are mock-ups. They don't mean anything until something's actually out, you know, to feel and have realistically working. Like they had, you know, products, but the throttle levers didn't move either. So very early stage, but there's a lot of promise. How are you getting along with Beyondatc? Yesterday I had an issue with it, both departure and arrival. So with Beyondatc, I've had very good success. There are times, like I feel maybe today, well actually, let's see. Let's, before I say anything, let me check. This also might be slightly outdated. Because it's been a little bit now. Alright, so we departed Philly. And Philly's departure was runway, as of right now, is runway... Departure, Philly, departure info, special... What the hell? Oh, here we go. Oh, wait. There's no departure information on this ATIS. That's weird. Well, okay. Anyways, let's look at Boston then, I guess. Okay, so KBOS, real life ATIS in Boston. Arrival is saying runway 33 left, departures 27. Well, they have us landing 27, and well, I don't know what's going on with the arrival. So, that's been the biggest issue I've had with APL. Or sorry, not APL, sorry, with Beyondatc. Is that the ATIS seems to be outdated more times than not. I'm not sure where they're getting their source from, but that's been about the only issue I've had with it. Just a METAR being outdated. On arrival, I had takeoff, exact opposite for me landing. Oh, interesting. I had an issue with it last night with Beyondatc. Well, hopefully there's another expo, which really matters. This was not the great one. Yeah, this last one I wasn't all that thrilled about, but, you know, they've changed both. The last two expos, they've really changed up a bit. And I'm not trying to be too critical about it, but they've definitely changed up the format a bit. So, you know, this was a test to see how things work out. Maybe it was great, and I didn't care for it as much, you know. There are definitely some people, you know, the poll up on the channel clearly shows that people had a good time with it. So, you know, obviously there was a great time. You know, any expo is a great time for flight simming. But personally, I didn't care for the format as much. So hopefully they make some adjustments for the next one and kind of get the perfect mash between last year's and this year's. I mean, I only use it for AI traffic. Oh, okay. Well, so, if you don't use it for ATC, you use it for just traffic, it could be goofy then too, because planes might be running, you know, might be landing in the runway that's not correct. You know what I mean? And that's happened from time to time too. Now I'm using FS traffic model matching with Beyondatc for this flight, as I have for the last couple flights. Testing and comparing it to compare it to FSLTL, and so far I'm very happy with FS traffic with Flight Sim 2024. So 6,000 is our hold. Actually, it's incorrect. 5,000 is our hold. So 5,000 in the box. Let's go and VS down a little bit more. Bring back the throttles. Let's go to about, let's say, 600 happy medium. Yeah, about that. Should be good. Beautiful. Master copy is arriving runway 33 left. Interesting. So you can see, so something changed in there. So master copy is, you're using a Beyondatc as well, aren't you, master copy? Oh, okay, never mind. Master copy got swapped over to 2.7. Yeah, I think, weren't we originally 3.3 left and then they swapped us over to 2.7? Oshkosh is great always. Yeah, Oshkosh is cool too. I didn't go, well, yeah, we went last year. We're not going this year. I was going to, but I normally go with my father-in-law, and we weren't planning to go this year.
American 1776.
We are planning to go to, there's a museum in Ohio, a real-world flight museum, or aircraft museum. We want to go to at some point, so we might do that sometime this fall.
300, expect radar vectors for visual approach.
But Oshkosh maybe next year. I was going to go this year as well, you know, with my wife or my cousin, but it's also the same weekend that the Fantastic Four comes out. So I'm like, you know, I can either be in the heat in Oshkosh, or I can be in a nice, cool museum or theater. 345. All right, 345.
Left heading 345, American 1776.
And then we should get our altitude in just a second. Altimeter is checked and set. He said yes, but if I use it for ATC, well, it puts on the runways 15 knot wind. Yeah. See, that's the issues. Yeah. They definitely need to get some updates going, because I feel like it's regressed a little bit, or their ATIS information just isn't updating as frequent. And I think that's honestly the biggest issue. And they haven't. I don't think they've ever said their source or their ATIS.
Heading 300.
So maybe they need to change the provider, or they need to get it to refresh more often. One of their competitors uses, they update their ATIS every hour. I think that's also what Flight Sim does, what Asoba does.
Descend, maintain 2,500. Altimeter 3000.
All right, throttle's coming down for the
American
arrival.
1776.
And 1,000. Let's do 15. Actually, no. Let's do 12. Let's see if that works. No, let's do 10. 1,000. 1,000 on the VS for the arrival. And it was not like they copied real life. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I will still have to wait for them to polish it up. Yeah. For me, and I've said this before, but like FS HUD seems to be the best at giving consistent real-world arrivals. Now, they still have issues from time to time, but I feel like FS HUD has the best overall consistent vectors and uses the consistent best runways. Now, it does, I believe, mostly grab from SimBrief, but I've also had runway changes with FS HUD. And again, I've also had issues where FS HUD gave me the wrong runway based on the weather as well. So it happens with both of them. But I feel like more consistently FS HUD gives you the correct runway. We have the field in sight, American 1776. The best you can do with runway change in Beyondatc is look up the ATIS in IRL and don't accept the change. That is true. Just ignore it.
Approach 27, American 1776.
Now, if you're using traffic, you can't just do whatever runway you want. If you're not using traffic, you can. So, like, if it's tells you expect runway 27. With traffic, if I said, denied, I'd like to get runway 33 left, it's going to be like, nope, can't because of traffic. Or VATSIM, yeah. J. Russ, welcome on in. Happy 4th of July for you. Alright, there's our runway in sight. J. Russ, we're doing a multiplayer flight, a group flight for the next one. Dublin to London City. So if you'd like to join us for another group flight, if you can, unless you're working, hopefully you're not. Updating SimBrief and Navigraph seem to fix departure and landing issues. So I use a pilot's life to generate the dispatch for
Contact Tower 128.8
Beyond ATC. And I typically do it within a 5-minute window.
Boston Tower, American 1776, visual runway 27.
JetBlue 632, monitor ground.
Yeah, J. Russ, you're with Delta with one of them, right? And then you have another one where you do your jump with. Is it Delta, J. Russ?
American 1776, Boston Tower, continue.
Doesn't sound right. Delta doesn't sound right.
Roger, American 1776.
It doesn't. Alright, we are 7 nautical miles out. Let's go ahead and bring those flaps out. It's a gusty landing here. Based on this wind, 3-3 left would make more sense. We have a crosswind now for this arrival. And flaps are coming down to 8. 6 nautical miles out. Landing gear is coming out. Oh, yeah, so it is Delta with the first one and FedEx with the second copy. 757 Spy yesterday was in 777, flying FedEx. It's my IRL job.
American 1776.
Well, the company I work for, I should say.
15, gust 22, runway 27 cleared to land.
Runway 27
And
cleared
flaps
to land. American
25.
1776.
Or sorry, flaps 30. Jeez. Forget what plane I'm in.
JetBlue 709er, ready to go. Runway tree left.
Alright, everything's stable, looking really, really good. I think we can turn APA
JetBlue
off.
709er, Boston Tower, wind tree 05 at 15, gust 22, or nav detect.
On landing, we're going to take Kilo.
Takeoff.
Probably Bravo. Kilo Bravo. See what happens. 1000 call. I'm really chicken. I don't want to turn this AP off. Throttle up a little bit more. Alright, AP's off. We're all gonna die now. Bring up that nose a little bit. Now, the one thing I've been noticing with this CRJ update is it's very heavy with the throttle now. Heavily influenced with the throttle. So don't bring it out too early like you would with the previous update.
Holding short, runway tree
A little high on the approach. Making some corrections. Now I'm really high out on the approach.
233, hold short of tree left, departing traffic.
Affirmative. Hold short of tree left. Allegiant 233.
There's a departing aircraft.
Sync rate.
Allegiant 233, runway tree left, line up and wait.
Alright, back on the Pappies.
Line up and wait. Runway tree left. Allegiant 233.
Calm down, plane. We're alright.
100.
Landing.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Alright, throttle's out. Nice, nice. Ooh, gust. Looking good. Reversers are out. Ooh. That gust at the last minute was trying to tip me. He was trying to get me, folks. Wouldn't let it.
Allegiant 233.
Very, very good.
Tower, wind
We made it.
05 at 15,
There's Echo. We're going to take Kilo.
nav detect. Runway tree left, clear for
Whew.
takeoff.
That was scurry. That was scurry.
Runway tree
Alright,
left.
flaps going up.
Detect. Cleared for takeoff.
And watching our speed. Slowing us down. Where the heck's Kilo?
American 1776, exit right at Kilo.
Roger that. Kilo.
Exit right at Kilo. American 1776.
Alright, here's our Kilo.
JetBlue 709er.
Landing lights are off. Now we're going to get dinged already once because I forgot to turn off our landing lights.
Boston departure. JetBlue 709.
Reversers are off. We're going to see what our landing rate was. Simbrit World says 120.
109er. Visual runway 33 left.
120. That sounds about... It feels good. That 120 feels really good.
Care 109er, Boston Tower, continue.
120 sounds really good.
Care 109er.
Felt smooth. Felt really smooth. Alright, welcome to Boston, everyone.
1776, contact ground 121.9er, see you.
We're just going to park over here with the other Americans.
Ground 121.9er. American 1776.
I'm not going to worry about
See you.
getting our clearance. There's a CRJ American right there, so we'll park right up there.
695. Taxi for departure.
Jazz 695, runway 33 left taxi via
I will start a
Echo
series
Alpha
on my
Charlie.
channel as well
Hold
with
short
APL.
runway
Never did
4
that.
left.
Hope I manage to sustain it weekly. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Left taxi via
That's a great
Echo
idea.
Alpha Charlie. Hold short runway 4 left. Jazz 695.
It's a really in-depth program. It gives you so much flexibility. Like honestly, my favorite part about it is
Cross runway 27 at Charlie.
you could fly any aircraft you want. You know, as long as you have the license for it, you can fly any aircraft you like with whatever airline you like. You know, we did a couple. I don't remember if I did on the stream or not, but we did a couple FedEx flights with 170 with the United livery. You know, like so. I love that ability, because you don't always want to fly the same aircrafts that airline has. Right? Sometimes you just don't want to. You feel like flying a different plane. And that gives you the opportunity to do that. Oh, we got a Euro. Is there a Euro wings? Alright. Let's hold for these dudes, because they technically have the right of way. We're not even supposed to be taxiing right now. What is that? I thought that was Euro. That's not. That's Air. Is that Air Canada?
JetBlue 1655 at gate Charlie 30.
That's that Air Canada. That was our group flight the other day.
Delta 1968, contact Boston Tower 1.
Alright, we're gonna park right up here, next to the CRJ.
Tower 128.8, Delta 1968.
Taxi lights are off. I should have started the APU. My mistake.
JetBlue 1655, Boston ground pushback approved. Face southwest.
Hurry up, hurry up. Oh.
Pushback approved. Face southwest. JetBlue 1655.
Southwest 1466, cross runway 4
Alright,
left
park
at
and brake is set.
Charlie.
We're just gonna wait for that
Continue
APU to come
taxi
on board
Charlie,
first
short
before
runway
we
4 right.
disconnect anything.
Cross runway 4 left at Charlie.
And let's go ahead and get rid of APL so I'm not burning my premium characters.
Hold short runway 4 right.
And let's see what happens here. So, we have 120. We'll see what we end up with. 120 felt really good, though. It felt like a really good landing. Very smooth. All right. And our APU is available, so let's go ahead and get our engines turned off. Oh, man. Was it spoilers? Oh, man. The spoilers might have been out still. Might have got dinged on that, too. Son of a gun. All right. What do we get? Let's see. APL. This or no, that's not our next flight. I gotta get that one still. Drum roll, please. You won't be able to see what the landing rate was, but I'll tell you. 99 on the score. Okay. So we had one failure, which was the lights. Yep. Holy smokes. A minus 90. A minus 90, folks. I will take it. I will take it. What did Beyondatc say? Minus 90. Alright. Complete the flight in Beyondatc. Beyondatc? I think it's Beyondatc. I think I say it wrong all the time. A minus 90. A minus 90 for both. Alright, just so we, just so you know I'm not cheating. Let's bring it up. Bam. 90. Minus 90. That was a very smooth, and I feel like the touchdown was in the zone too. The touchdown had to be in the zone. That was a dang good landing. All right, let's go ahead and recycle the sim. Let's go ahead and recycle that sim. Actually, before we do that, let's check our airports for this next flight. Okay, so dashboard and oh, sorry, I better catch up on chat. Sorry. Let's see, landing rate. What? Yeah, not minus 90. Okay, master copy. You gotta get better than that, man. Master copy minus 90. I knew the gust was coming. The plane. This plane of mine overshoots waypoints and didn't grab the localizer. Maybe my fault, but yeah, sometimes it doesn't. I feel like you have to make the capturing of the localizer like spot on, else it's off. J Russ says, Simbrett World, I need a pay adjustment. It isn't realistic. That's pretty good. No instant gratification. Yeah, I like that too. The delayed, yeah, I like the every week. I like the payouts that are on Mondays. They come out at least Mondays here for me. I like that. I fly at least once per day, which most cannot do, and I'm ranked in the top 25 with Delta, but it's slow. Yeah, well, the grind is real with me, United. I'm finally at the top 200, or no, I'm top 250. Last I checked, it was last 250. I want a prize for guessing that. How about a copy of APL? Ooh, that's pretty good. Cheaters galore. I managed to pull a 116 yesterday in the A350. Very nice. Cheaters galore. What? All right. Let's see. My library. I know I have. Oh, hold on. EIDW, right? Yeah. So I have Dublin. And then what is EGLC is the next one. And yeah, I have Orbex for both of them. Okay, cool. Or I have Orbex for that one. So let's do a recycle of the sim. And then the next one, remember, doing the Asia server, and we're going to do multiplayer. And I'll show you here in the sim how you set up the multiplayer in case you may not know how to get that going. Because it can be a little weird compared to Flight Sim 2024. Or sorry, 2020. Doing that, let me get my event and make sure that our next one, pop-up event, bam. Or it's a random flight, here we go. Add to my current schedule. I'm definitely not a pro, but I appreciate the positive on that. Now there's a returning event, a one-time event that starts tomorrow. This is a 4th of July Part 2. That's Boston to DCA. Now I'll be out of town tomorrow, so I won't be able to do a stream of that. But for those who want to do it, if I'm back in time, I might do it at night for myself. Okay, check my schedule, make sure that's in there now. Ireland to London City, beautiful, grand. Okay, and we're not taking the 190. We're taking the 319, folks. 319. We're gonna be brave, terrified, scariness. 319 time into London City. What could possibly go wrong? All right, while that's loading up, I'm gonna step away for just a few moments. I'll be right back. Did you study the arrival? No study here. Server is going to be Asia. So, first step, we go into the little gear up here at the top. Okay? We go to online. And we see multiplayer. Make sure that's checked on. The second step is you need to change the server for this flight. So we're going to go to the Asia. So Asia, East, Southeast Asia. We're going to try this server. You also want to have this checked as well so that planes that are around you nearby, you'll be able to see them. Okay? So multiplayer, Southeast Asia, and then close proximity. You want those three things all on. Okay? So next step, we go to graphics. And we go down to global rendering. You want to make sure that air traffic is set to ultra. This is going to be the best liveries. Okay? And you hit save. Okay, so then you go to free flight. And then on this screen, you go to flight conditions. And with flight conditions, you will go over here and choose all players. All players means that no matter what time of day that the other pilots have, it will be, you'll be able to see them, okay? In theory. So then you save that. And that's it. Now you choose your plane and start flying. So let's go ahead and get our flight going here with APL. Now, because I did a restart, I do have to make sure I jump up, or bring up FSU IPC again. London City has a steeper glide slope, so it's a challenge, man. Come on, Will, I got this. You just saw, I did a minus 190 in the CRJ. A minus 190 in the CRJ. Come on now. You don't, Will, do you not believe in my... I can't even say it no more. I can't do it no more. It's going to be a disaster, and I know it. All right, 319. We have a Eurowings livery. What else do we have? Let's see what liveries we might have that make sense. I don't know if I have a... I don't know if BA flies the 319. Oh yeah, we have a... Here we go, British Airways. We'll do that one. All right, we're going to do the AIE. We're going to do British Airways, so it's somewhat realistic. We're going to save that. And now, custom. We want to go back here and turn live on. Multiplayer, all players is on. Okay. And then we're going to be doing EIDW. I always want to do ED. We're going to do Dublin. Okay. And we're going to change our aircraft in APL to the 319. I'm going to generate my Simbri profile. What are we thinking, folks? Beyond ATC or no ATC? Beyond ATC or no ATC? I guess I could launch up FS HUD as well. But then I have to launch up FS Traffic's traffic. So probably, yeah, let's just do Beyond ATC or no ATC. We'll do that. Okay, so we got that going. We're expecting runway 28 right in Dublin. 28 right. And 25, cool. 28 right. Alright, so Dublin, 28 right is right there. I don't know where BA goes, so we're gonna go any, mini, miny, mo. Let's just go here. Let's travel. Let's travel. Alright, and then start the flight. You can land a soapbox in the sim, for crying out loud. Simber World says Beyond ATC. Beyond ATC Well says as well, so we're going Beyond ATC, I guess. Beyond ATC for this flight as well. Okay, I like to give it a couple seconds to load up. Is my head tracker on? Let's go see if we see any other planes. Is anyone else here? Hello? So far, traffic is not working. Unless no one's here. Then it's working flawlessly. Is anyone else here? I'll update Beyondatc while we're waiting. Beyondatc. And make sure I start calling it the right thing. Although I need to get confirm correct knowledge if that is correct or not. All right, EGLC, London City. Beyondatc. Dublin is busy right now. It is busy with APL for sure. It's loaded with APL. If we look at APL here. Yeah, look at that. It's popping. Got a bunch of planes. I'm not connected because I forgot to launch up. Guess what? FSU IPC. This could have been a disaster. Alright, FSU IPC is connected. What server we are? Southeast Asia. Master copy. Southeast Asia for the server. Alright, switch this to auto follow. I'll wait for you to pop in, master copy. Maybe I messed up my settings. I'm trying to show you and maybe I broke it. I don't want to start I don't want to start BATC or start anything in the aircraft until I get confirmation that multiplayer is working. So we'll wait for master copy to jump in. Oh, it's awfully quiet here just in general. I'm surprised there's like no other traffic. Yeah, Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia. And my nameplates are on. I'm at gate 109 right. Although I don't know if you're using, this is the MK Studios Dublin. Why didn't Microsoft just put a big on and off button for, I don't know. Their multiplayer stuff is so weird. Like, you think about this. There's like, I don't know, 5,000 people maybe flying at a given time in Flight Sim. These clouds are crazy. So like, why are there too many settings? Why are there too many settings? It's wild to think how complex the sim is. Let me know if you're in master copy. I don't see you in APL either yet, though. It is way too complex for a flight sim. Like, I'm glad there's multiplayer built into without having to add in anything. It's just the overly complex thing. I'm so glad. Here's one thing I'm glad. Microsoft did announce yesterday a pretty substantial amount of layoffs, and I feel bad for everyone that lost their job. It doesn't seem like Asobo was affected. At least from my initial views of things, it doesn't seem to be Asobo was affected, which is good news for the flight sim community. Because the question mark has always been how much money has flight sim brought to Microsoft and Asobo, right? The Forza team, so I like I said it before, I like to race with Forza Horizon. It froze on you? Okay. They got hit hard. They got hit really hard, unfortunately. So it's really, really sad. All right, master copy had to restart, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna try to switch in servers real quick. I want to see if it's a server issue. So I'm gonna go to. Let's do North Europe, since this is kind of where it is. Save, resume. Let's give this a couple seconds, because there's got to be people flying on this server in North Europe. Oh, yep, okay. So there's a plane right there. Master copy, switch to North Europe. Switch to the North Europe server. North Europe server. Since I at least can confirm there's at least a plane there, so I do know my multi-player settings are working. I mean, I get that it's complex and they have to manage a lot of things in the sim, but settings a little bit more organized and more clear. Yeah, and that's what I like. Have an on and off, and then have a button for your server. Right? I think that's all that needs to be done. I think that's really all there needs to be. An on and off for multiplayer. The live and the all players, like, I don't understand that feature either. Because, like, I feel get rid of that option. Get rid of the on and off, or sorry, get rid of the live versus all players, because it should just be all players. Who cares what time of day it is? Who cares if Bob's flying at night and you're flying day? Who the hell cares? You just want to see other pilots, right? So get rid of that feature and just have it simply multiplayer on and then a server. That's it. There shouldn't be any other need for anything else. I know my settings in APL are maybe clunky sometimes, but they are freaking Microsoft, not a one-man team like me. I think your settings are fine. I never was confused with the settings in APL, personally. I've gotten confused sometimes with your percentage chance of getting accepted into an airline or the automatic offers that come through. That still sometimes boggles my mind how that works. But if you sit and you look at the charts that you've made, which are clearly organized and understandable, if you just take a few moments to look at it, you're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. It's just that if you haven't used it for a while, and you're looking at all these greens and reds and yellows and all these numbers, you're like, what the hell does any of this mean? But once you like think about it for a little bit, it does make perfect sense. You know, with the APL. I care about Bob. What about Bob? I was watching that show not so long ago. What about Bob? The movie, What About Bob? It's old 90s. Was it 90s, right? With Bill Murray. And it's a guy that he has some mental disorder. And his psychologist went out of town. Well, his psychologist moved him over. Yes, Sim Update 2. Moved him over to a different person because he just couldn't handle him no more. And Bob got attached to this new psychologist who just happened to go on vacation after his first session. And Bob tracked him down and went on vacation with him because the psychologist said, you know, baby steps. And he should try something different. So he did. Took a vacation with a psychologist. It's a hilarious show. It's one of those good 90s flicks. I also watched recently. I was on this John Candy kick. So I watched a Summer Rental with John Candy, and I watched Uncle Buck. Master copy at gate. Well, at least here it says 109. 109. So runway 28 right is right over here. So there's 28 right. I'm just right next to it. This is your typical Ireland day, right? Cloudy, rainy. Oh, hey, there's Master Copy popping in. The 320 Delta. Alright, Master Copy, you should eventually pop in. It's probably the sim being stupid. Or it's not spawning the aircraft right now. Oh, there it goes. Alright, we see Master Copy. So maybe it was the other server. The Asia server was having issues. All right, we'll start seeing beyond ATC traffic
Beyond
pop in
ATC
momentarily. So you got Ryanair. Another Ryanair. I guess we parked at Ryanair land. I flew for Ryanair for a while. With, well, geez, yeah, we definitely parked in Ryanair land. I don't know where we're supposed to technically... I don't even think British Airways flies here. I just picked one livery that kind of would possibly make sense. KLM, Finnair, a white livery, Air France, Air Portugal, and then Aer Lingus. I think I might have also flew for Aer Lingus in APO. Alright, master copy. Are we ready to copy? Let's go into our planeage here. And let's go to Phoenix, import our flight plan. Let's go to load aircraft, insta-load. Let's go here, load the load sheet. Up top here, whoa. And external power, battery 1, 2 are on, pumps are coming on. Navs are coming on. Cruise supply. Lights, master switch, compass, emergency, no smoking, seatbelt, master switch is on. Cool. Let's go on down below here and go to config, go to failures, navigate, scroll on down to IRSs, get those auto aligned. And now we're just waiting for the FMC to become available. Yeah, I'm really thinking about getting this from WinWing. Alright, go to init, IRS position, okay, init request. We are CFE, oh boy, CFE 4473. British, what was it called? Oh boy, I don't even know what my call sign is. Oh, Flyer 1RP. That's who we are today. Flyer 1RP. Flyer 1 Romeo Papa. Cost index today is what? Cost index today is a 52. And flight level is 350. Grand. Over here to the tablet, send to the McDo. Send to the McDo. Beautiful. Back on down here. We can request a win if we want to. Give that a few seconds. Let's go on back. We go next. That's all been populated. We go to performance. That's all been populated. Flaps to departure. Let's clear all that. Flight plan. We're expecting currently runway 28 right. Departure. 28 right. Via the, oh god. Pepsi? Pepsi 2? Peepsi? I don't know. 2J. No transition. Arrival. Currently 27 via the Surrey 1C. Surrey 1C. No transition. Okay. We can go over to, let's see, McDo menu, Atsu, Messages. Load it. Accept it. Performance. Alright, folks. I think we're ready. APU is fired up. Good. Bleed. External power off. Let's get our clearance. Dublin delivery 122985. Okie dokie. What? Did I type that wrong? 122985. It says it doesn't exist. Okay. Beyond ATC. Frequency. Their clearance is 121.87. That's weird. Okay. Dublin clearance, a very good day from Flyer 1 Romeo Papa. We're ready for IFR clearance to London City.
Flyer 1 Romeo Papa. Dublin clearance delivery. Expect runway 28 right. PSID to Juliet departure. Squawk 5712.
PESIT 2, Juliet departure. Squawk 5712. Flyer 1, Romeo Papa.
Flyer 1 Romeo Papa. Read back correct. Contact ground 125.885 when ready for push or start.
We'll contact ground 125.885 when ready for pushback or engine start. Flyer 1, Romeo Papa. Thanks.
I'm gonna link up my my Moby flight, because I haven't done the British Airways. Let's see. Jesus, didn't realize how big FS traffic file would. Oh yeah, it's pretty big. How is your health now, Joe? Mine is great after a few months. Yeah, mine's doing pretty good. Making a lot of progress. I have to deal with an issue every 3 months. Get some blood removed. But you know, from where I was, it's fantastic. Master Copy, are we ready for a pushback? What are you thinking? Master Copy's floating a little bit. He's got the new engines installed, the floaters. Dublin ground, Flyer 1 Romeo Papa ready for pushback and engine start.
Flyer 1 Romeo Papa.
What the hell was that?
Dublin ground. Hold position for traffic. I'll call you back.
Alright, hold in position. We got traffic.
Hold position, Flyer 1, Romeo Papa.
Let's
Flyer
face
1,
back.
Romeo Papa.
East.
Dublin ground pushback and engine start approved. Face east.
Master Copy says 4 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and push back. We'll wait for you.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face east, Flyer 1.
Release the pushback.
Romeo Papa.
Uh-oh. Hold on. I failed, folks. Hold on. Hold it. GPU chocks. Oh, we don't need jetway. Whoops. Alright. Come on back down to Earth plane. Whew. Disaster. Avoided. Alright. Go ahead and push back. And let's go on down here. Let's go auto, up. Ignition start. TCAS, engine number 1.
Ryanair 18 Papa X-ray. Contact Dublin. Tower 124.68.
Whoops.
Bye-bye.
Go engine number 1.
Over to Tower 124.
And clock rolling.
Ryanair 18 Papa X-ray.
Alright, pushback looking good. We got a Ryanair out there in the distance. I don't know why we were holding for traffic. That was weird. That was very weird. Star Wars engines for master.
As a reminder, smoking is not permitted at any time whilst on board. If you do have any questions, please ask a member of your cabin crew.
Alright, pushback looking pretty good.
After the success of last year's in-flight safety video, lots more actors have been in touch with me being like, Chubadi, please let us be part of the sequel. Pathetic, really, you know. And sure, they've got their BAFTAs, they got their Oscars, but what they really want, the Society of In-Flight Safety Training Awards. They all want to get their hands on the golden wings. I quite fancy some wings, actually. Can someone go chicken shop?
And you are?
My name's Chubadi G.
Chip Buddy, what?
No, Chubadi G. Chibadi's a sandwich.
Do we get a sandwich?
Right, okay, this is a very important scene because you got Henderson props. Have you done prop work before?
Yeah.
You have? Okay. Action!
All exits are clearly marked and are being pointed out to you now by our gorgeous cabin crew.
You've done prop work before, I can see you have. Very impressed with you. Keep impressing.
Opening the doors automatically inflates the evacuation slides. High-heeled shoes must be taken off as they may tear the slide. Don't worry, you'll all still look absolutely fabulous without them, as that's strictly necessary.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise people want to...
Ryanair 27 X-ray Charlie. At ramp 111, request pushback.
Plus size male modeling, actually. What have you done?
Ryanair 27 X-ray Charlie, Dublin ground, pushback approved. Face east.
Please now fasten your seatbelt.
Pushback approved. Face east. Ryanair 27 X-ray Charlie.
And opened like this.
Brilliant. That's it.
Okay?
Let's get a selfie. Come on.
Right now?
Come on, let's get a selfie.
I mean, normally I've done the upper side.
No, this is my best side, so we should probably just stick with that. But let's see.
Shit, I wasn't realized I wasn't even talking. I pushed the mute button accidentally. Master Copy, you give me the go-ahead for, whoa,
Shamrock 246.
for taxi clearance.
Yeah, I'll give you some tips.
Shamrock 246, runway 28. Right taxi via Alpha Tango 5, Alpha Tango. Alpha Tango 4, Foxtrot Inner, Charlie
Jim, welcome
Kilo,
on in.
November.
Yeah, sorry, Will. I muted it because I was clearing my throat, and then I forgot to unmute it.
Runway 28 right taxi via Alpha Tango 5, Alpha Tango. Alpha Tango 4, Foxtrot Inner, Charlie, Kilo, November, Shamrock 246.
Let's go.
Good to go. All right, Master Copy. Dublin ground, flyer 1 Romeo Papa, ready to taxi to the active.
Don't stop now. Come on. And please do not inflate your life until you've left.
Dublin ground flyer 1. Romeo Papa, you need to make a taxi request. And check the frequency for instructions.
Night. What happened? Dublin ground, flyer 1 Romeo Papa, ready to taxi to runway 28 right.
Flyer 1, Romeo Papa, runway 28, right taxi.
All right, let's
via
go.
Charlie,
All call.
Kilo,
AP's
November.
off. Taxi lights are on.
Runway 28 right taxi via
Going
Charlie,
down
Kilo,
here.
November,
Too
Flyer
far.
1 Romeo Papa.
Takeoff config. All good. All right, Master Copy, you're the master.
Ryanair
Lead us.
27 X-ray Charlie.
Lead us on our way.
Whilst on board, and this includes the washrooms.
Master's going for another planet.
Ryanair 27 X-ray Charlie, runway 28.
We'll follow
Right
Master.
taxi
Master.
via Charlie,
Unless you want me to follow you,
Kilo,
Master
November.
Copy, you let me know.
To be honest, I haven't listened to a word you said.
Let me know if you want to lead or do you want me to
Runway
lead.
28 right taxi via Charlie, Kilo, November, Ryanair 27 X-ray Charlie.
All right, Master's rolling. We'll roll after him. Lex has the third party airport. That's why. Yeah, that's why.
Air France 19 Foxtrot.
Parking
Pushback
brake.
and engine star approved. Face southwest. Pushback approved. Face
Master
southwest.
Copy had a
Control
failure
19 Foxtrot Golf.
of hovering. Oh, he wants me to lead. All right, Master Copy, I'm coming around you. Coming around you. Try not to hit your plane. All right, drifting here in Dublin. All right, Link 7 Kilo is coming on board next here.
Will help children all over the world living really tough lives. If you have any questions, you can't find a safety card, or if you've mislaid
He's flying the 20, I'm flying the 19. So just a minor difference. His is just a longer plane. I got the smaller plane because I feel confident in not landing this plane. Alright, over to ground. We're doing November 2. We said November, but we'll just do November 2. And do we talk to ground? Who do we talk to for the departure? Can we talk to tower? Let me see the frequencies. Tower, yeah, we should be talking to tower. Why didn't it switch us over? 28 right.
Air France 19 Foxtrot Golf.
Runway 28 right. I'm holding short 28 right, unless they want us to hold shorts elsewhere.
Air France 19 Foxtrot Golf. Runway 28. Right taxi via Alpha Tango 5, Alpha Tango 4, Foxtrot Inner, Charlie, Kilo, November.
Oh, we're supposed to be down there. Whoops.
Runway 28 right taxi via Alpha Tango 5, Alpha Tango, Alpha Tango 4, Foxtrot Inner, Charlie, Kilo, November, Air France 19 Foxtrot Golf.
Alright, maybe we can jump the line here. Go to tower.
Ryanair 27 X-ray Charlie. Contact Dublin Tower 124.6.
Master copy, don't follow
Flyer
me.
1, Romeo Papa, ready for departure.
Lots of
runway
landing
28
second chances
right.
in a sim. Yeah, for sure.
Ryanair 5 X-ray Victor. Exit right at Sierra 5.
Alright, we didn't make that right here.
Exit right at Sierra 5.
Master copy, go to the right, not to the left.
Flyer 1, Romeo Papa. Number 2, for departure.
Number
Hold
2 for
short
departure.
28 right.
Affirm.
Stupid
Hold
Americans
short
don't even know how to
28
taxi right.
Flyer 1, Romeo Papa.
That's a nice looking plane, yep, I agree. Alright, there goes Ryanair, and then I think Airliners is next, and then I think it's us. And then master copy.
Shamrock 60 Yankee. Wind 235 goes 26. Runway 28 left, clear to land.
We're sort of landing left or taking off right.
Runway 28 left.
BA is lost again.
Shamrock 60 Yankee.
Yep. I watched a documentary last night. It was on 3 different things, but
Dublin Tower, wind 235 at 14, goes 26. Runway 28 right, cleared for takeoff.
they cleared us for takeoff.
Runway 28 right.
Well,
Cleared
we'll
for
take off
takeoff.
after this.
Flyer
This
1, Romeo Papa.
Airliners. It got confused because I screwed up. All right, landing lights are on. Yeah, Beyondatc does not see the multiplayer. That would be a cool feature one day. All right, lining up. It actually kind of worked out really good because there's no other planes around us, I think.
Shamrock 60 Yankee, exit right at Sierra 5.
All right, we'll let that plane get a little bit more airborne, a little bit farther away from us.
Shamrock 60 Yankee.
Bring up the throttles. We're flexing. ET set. Let's go flying. Alright, wind's coming just from the left at 15 knots. So another windy day here. Guess it's just windy all over the world. Kind of seems how it is sometimes. Boy, I really think I needed that full runway. It's gonna be... We got room, but not as safe as one would like. Alright, rotate. That's a beautiful departure. That is so cool looking. Gear going up. Yeah, that wind is something up here. Master copy, hold on to your butt.
Flyer 1, Romeo Papa. Contact Dublin departure 132.58.
Flaps up a notch.
Contact Dublin departure 132.58. Flyer 1, Romeo Papa.
Going to climb mode.
Dublin departure, Flyer 1, Romeo Papa. Good afternoon.
Papa.
1,400 feet.
God, that's so beautiful. And Sim Update 3 looks even better. I'm gonna do Sim Update 3, the beta, this weekend. That's I'm gonna use all weekend.
Flight level 170, Flyer 1,
Spoilers are disarmed. I'm gonna see how it goes. I didn't want to do it today because I figured today we can do that multiplayer flight, and not everyone's on Sim Update 3. So, I'll do it this weekend and see how things go. It's supposed to be pretty stable. The one flight I did with it was really good. No issues whatsoever. This is so cool looking, man. Tell you what, it's impressive sometimes. It really is. How complex the sim can be and how beautiful it can be at the exact same time. Yeah, the other computer is APL. Or not APL, sorry. Beyond ETC. Using FS traffic. So yeah, AI. I was looking into injecting traffic into the sim for APL, but it is hard to do. Yeah, it would be really cool. It'd be so cool to see, even just multiplayer. Just to see multiplayer would be so cool. All right, standard pressure. Oh my gosh, look how amazing that is. That is just glorious. Am I in 2.0? Sim Update 2.0? Yeah. Sim Update 2? Yeah, Sim Update 3 does make the ground look a little bit better. You know, when it comes to like the atmosphere, the wind, the sun, all that kind of jazz. I guess not the wind, but the sun and the clouds. It does look better. But this looks amazing regardless. It's just like it did a better job at, it does a better job at some of the darks and the lights, kind of balances it out a little bit better. Eventually I'll get off the ground. Where you at, Irishman? Eventually I'll get off the ground. Alright, AP's coming on. Yeah, you know, I think a lot of people struggle. I don't think a lot of people realize, first off, how complex traffic can be in the sim. You know, to try to integrate multiplayer traffic, to integrate you know, AI traffic. It's a complex thing, and then trying to get the performance to be optimized is a whole different beast. Because you can integrate all these things, but if the performance is trashed, well, no one's going to want to use it. So, I think we're all trying to chase optimization the best we can with our sims, you know, with our systems and what we have to work with. And it's a heck of a challenge. And you know, people have made great comments here in the stream or other videos I've made where, you know, you have some creators, some people, you know, just users overall who have high-end systems, and others don't have those kind of systems, right? I find I have a pretty good system. I'm very fortunate. I have a high-end system. I could still go higher, right? And I can still do things that would be more optimized. But there are a lot of people who don't. There are a lot of people still flying, you know, on a 1070 or 2060. And so there needs to be that consistency across the sim that no matter what you're using as a system, you can at least get the 30 FPS with the base sim. And then you start adding in all these other mods and stuff, and holy cow, right? It gets so complex. So complex. Yeah, and then, yeah, see, and the Pilot's Life, Simbrit World says, I would need to have APL to send data to the server at least every 5 seconds. And that's a drain on the network. That's a drain on that network as well. There's so many moving factors with all of this. That's why, like, you go back and watch my first ever experience with Beyondatc and traffic. None of that was fake. I'm not an actor. I can't fake. But that first experience with Beyondatc and traffic, when I got the supporters pack, I was just blown away. I was blown away at the experience you could have with it. Just blown away with it. And even to this day, like, there are those moments with Beyondatc and you see it and you're like, holy crap, that just happened. You know, I talked about on, I think it was on Sunday, where I was coming into Minneapolis. There were 2 planes that were crossing the threshold of the runway I was landing on. And because it was cutting it too tight, landing lights coming off, taxi lights off, it had me go around. Now, I botched the go around because it's a plane I'm not familiar with, but it all went to hell. But it was mind-blowing to see, you know, as you come in for the arrival. It's so cool to see planes holding short because of you. It's so cool to see planes taking off on the opposite runway, you know, or landing on the opposite runway. Those, just when you experience those things firsthand for the first time, second time, third time, you know, think about how many times you've flown in flight sim and you're like, holy crap, like, look at this. Like, this is incredible looking. There's Master Copy back there. It's so, I don't know. It's the awe factor. I think that's what Flight Sim offers a lot of. The awe factor, right? The holy crap. The moments like that. It's just breathtaking sometimes. A lot of times. The experience is always so unique and different because when you throw in stuff like Beyond ATC, when you throw in stuff like First Officer, when you throw in stuff like APL, these experiences change the way every single flight is, right? APL, you have a different airport for departure and arrival, likely, on maybe the complete opposite of the country you're in. And sometimes even a different country, depending on the airline you're flying for. That's a huge difference right there. So now you have the weather changes, right? You're flying in a different aircraft, maybe. That's a huge different experience. Then you throw in Beyond ATC, and you have a completely different experience when it comes to traffic. Maybe they change up the runway on you because of the weather. Maybe they change the runway because it's screwed up or it's behind. But either way, the experience is going to be substantially different than the flight you just had before that. And Flight Sim First Officer does the same kind of thing, right? It's a different plane, so the procedures are being held a different way. I don't know. It's just incredible. It's just incredible. Don't be knocking my Commodore 64. Will says you can use Beyond ATC with FSLDL, but you'll have to ask. Yeah, APL working with Beyond ATC is cool. Yeah, it's just when you add in all of these things together. For those of you who were not part of like Flight Sim 98, 2000, the initial versions of X-Plane even, and your first experience with flight simming primarily is Flight Sim 2020, you don't know how lucky you are to have this completely different experience that so many people didn't have at the time. It is such a wild thing. Master Copy. We'll see if we can get down on the ground and watch his landing there in London City. I remember, like, when I first got into flight simming back in Flight Sim 98, I flew airlines. I jumped right in. I didn't fly the little Cessnas. I did some of the training exercises that were provided in there, which are really, really cool. But, like, I got right into the airlines. And I was flying the airlines. But I was flying the airlines from point A to point B. There was no Star. There was no SID. I was going from Minneapolis to Chicago direct in the airline. I was making up my own runway to land on, right? I was always using clear skies. I was always using no wind. It was the perfect day to fly in aircraft that I had no idea how to fly, but I'm going to fly it the best I could. I was hitting Control E to get the plane started up, right? A lot of times I was starting from the runway. I wasn't taxiing. But I was so impressed and amazed, and I had so much fun. I had my little checklist that I didn't really pay attention to. I had my flight records, which I still have, actually. I should take some screenshots and throw them in the Discord. But like I have my flight log still from a lot of my flights. Departure runway, arrival runway, how long it is, the altitude I'm going to go fly up to. Really cool stuff. And for me, like I used a little bit of X-Plane 10, a little bit of X-Plane 11. But I got back into flight simming with 2020, and just, it blew my mind away. The difference between what I used before, primarily Flight Sim 2001, to what Flight Sim 2020 offered. It was just incredible. Incredible. Alright, so I don't forget, next week we go kind of back to our normal schedule with the streams. So our takeoff today was about 2 hours later than normal because my friend and I were doing our podcast. But next week, probably Tuesday, well, all day Tuesday for sure. Not all day, but we'll do a couple of flights on Tuesday because I have Tuesday off. But probably a stream on Wednesday and Thursday as well. So we'll probably do 3 or 4 days next week. We'll kind of see how things go. I do want to integrate that group flying, and I think it's probably going to end up being Sundays because I think that works with everyone. So we'll probably integrate the Sunday flight stuff. But I want to wait for Sim Update 3 to come out of beta and be official before we officially do the group flying consistently. And then we'll do that. So I'm excited about that. Did you use the keyboard to fly? Oh yeah, absolutely. I used a keyboard to fly. Yep. I used the keyboard to fly until I got the Sidewinder. The Microsoft Sidewinder joystick. When I got that one, no more keyboard. Oh yeah, I used a keyboard. That was my first taste into... So, okay, here's a funny story. Here's my first experience with ATC within Flight Sim. This is back in Flight Sim 2000. I think it was Flight Sim 2000. But this was, I don't know if any of you remember, used to be a program called Roger Wilco, and it was a way to chat with friends. Well, anyways, there used to be a network for ATC. You know, before VAT Sims and stuff like that, there was a network on there, and one person would be a pilot, the other would be ATC. So I was pilot because I didn't know anything about ATC, and it was my cousin was with me actually. We were at his place. We were doing our flying. So we hook up to this Roger Wilco, and we're doing our, I'm doing my thing. He's not my cousin. I'm doing the whole thing. And I think I was flying with keyboard. I don't think I had a joystick on that flight. But anyways, so we get our clearance, we get our departure, we fly out, right? And we're in cruise. And the ATC guy, the dude on Roger Wilco, says the following: "All right, ATC's got to step away to go get another can of beer." I was like, this is the funniest crap I've ever seen in my entire life. It was just hilarious. Got to step away to go get another can of beer. I was like, oh man, and I was what, 16, 17, probably 17 around that time. It's just hilarious. Hilarious. Alright, cruising on up to flight level 350 on this flight. Where's Master Copy's back there yet? The weather is pretty crappy here, but looks like it's a little bit better in London City. Winds are 240 at 11. Temperature's 27. A bit warmer. FSLTL has an update, just in case anyone doesn't know, for their base model traffic. Oh, interesting. I wait until Sim Update 3 until multi-fly. You saying why wait, or you will wait? I'm gonna wait just because timing. So like this weekend, going out of town on Saturday, and Sunday I just kind of, take a full day off from work and streaming and all that jazz, just kind of chillax. Monday go back to work, but then I have Tuesday off. So that's why I figured maybe by the time the US holiday's over with, they have enough testing with Sim Update 3 and might be ready to launch officially. So maybe by the time, we're talking a week from now, maybe Sim Update 3 will come out. If not, that's right, because next weekend I think I have something going on too. So, well, I know I worked that Saturday, but maybe the week after that, so maybe 2 weeks. Maybe. Big maybes.
Romeo Papa through flight level 256 for flight level 350.
Flyer 1, Romeo Papa, London Control identified.
What I really like about European aerospace is everything is so structured nicely. Everything just kind of flows extremely well. You know, you're expected, you know, to follow this flight plan on your flight, and it's pretty much direct. It's so cool. It's so cool how it works. Alright, flight level 270, looking grand. Just getting out of these clouds here. I wonder what the holdup is. I understand things are more complex, but I wonder how much. Clearly, they must have changed a lot with flow from P42. But it's rather interesting that a program that seems like it would be fairly simple, they're having a hard time bringing over. Again, I don't know the details, and I'm sure it is obviously more complex. A lot of things were broken with Flight Sim 2024. It's just, I'd like to know what exactly was changed by Asoba that made it that much more difficult to program it, or how to program it. I can see you guys just off the UK coast. That's awesome. That's what's really, really cool about APL. And more planes are following us. It's like if I bring it up here on the screen so you can see it, there's our route, and you can see all these other planes that are following. So since this is an event, you see more and more planes following through on this event. That's where the events are really awesome. Almost at flight level 300. This is a really long cruise on up. It's not that long of a flight, right? So we're gonna swing back around. So we're doing a 180 on this one, at least as of right now. That's the initial plan. Got another 4,000 feet to go for our top climb. We're expected to be on the ground here in about a half hour. You can see multiplayer kind of slowly popping up more and more planes. And master copy's right on back there. It's cool. We're like 30, what are we at, 30,000 feet in the air? And you can see like the cliffs here. Even at this height, you can see the cliffs. That's so cool. It's like a screenshot right there. So cool. This Phoenix, tell you what, it's one of the best planes in the sim. By far, one of the best planes ever in the sim. It looks gorgeous, it sounds really good, it handles really nicely. Once you kind of dial in performance stuff on your end, you know, make sure there's enough VRAM. Like right now, my VRAM's at 8 out of 14, 8 out of 15 pretty much. It's very good. Alright, let's go look at our charts over here. And we go here, we go to Navigraph. I can't wait for that Beyond ATC, or the, I shouldn't call it Beyond ATC, I can't wait for the traffic thing to come into Beyond ATC. I can't wait for the traffic thing to come to Navigraph. That's going to be so cool. I'm so excited about it. Alright, so our arrival start... Oh, that's Manchester. Hold on. Here we go. London City. So we're expecting right now... This is our arrival. So we're going to fly over the runway, or the airport, fly next to the airport, and then it's going to vector us around for the landing. Okay. The arrival here, 2,000 feet coming on in. So as Will said, I think it was, it's a steep landing here. It's a very steep landing. So, see the ILS slope 1, 2, 2, 3, 3.5 for a slope, so it drops you pretty quickly. So the biggest thing when you come on into London City, manage the speed. Manage the speed. Don't come in too hot. It's going to be super important. And then parking, well, it's pretty simple. There's one runway. We're landing 27, so we just exit to the left. We're probably going to go all the way down to the end. That would be my guess. We're going to need every little bit of runway here. So Bravo or Alpha for a taxi to our gate. And we'll just taxi to one of these two. Or sorry, we'll taxi over here, probably Tango 5, unless there's something else available. That's our briefing. Pretty simple. And we just got to execute it. Alright, so now let's go on down here. Down here. Let's put in our arrival info at this point, since we have something to work with. QNH is 10.22. What? Oh, hold on. 10.22. We don't need a dot. Temperature is 27. Winds. Where the hell did that come from? Oh, I grabbed the winds. 240 at 11. And the minimums are what? $540. Okay, that's all set for the arrival. Top of descent is right there. So if we don't get it from ATC, we'll go ahead and try to get it from them. Based on those charts, 10,000 feet. So if we go back over here, 10,000 is what we're going to be expecting. Do not proceed beyond Godlow without clearance. We can't go past this point until ATC gives us instructions. We'll maintain 210 at this point as well. So we're going to put in 10,000 in our computer. We also have a company message now, so we can go take a look at that. In that company message, we can go to Atsu. No actions because we departed on time. Very good. And we're pretty close. Top of descent is in about 5 minutes based on what a pilot stuff says, which is pretty close. It's typically pretty close to what the actual arrival will be. We got a couple planes down there. We got an A320. I can't see what that one is. Master Copy still back there. We have Viking Slayer. Dominic. A bunch of traffic out here today. Once we switch servers. And it seems like this server has been holding up pretty well, so we might just stick with this North Europe server. At least for today, it's holding up pretty well. Siren 1. Expect Siren 1 Charlie, runway 27, flyer 1 Romeo Papa. Okay. Cool. So we know our runway, nothing's changed there. That looks grand. And I'm gonna wait just a few more seconds here. We'll put in our top of descent. 'Cause it's coming up pretty quick. Well, this day's gone by really fast. It's almost already 1 o'clock. For me, at least. Mine, watch mine change, yeah. We collide on the arrival. Lately, the North Europe servers are better. Okay. Maybe, yeah, maybe we'll stick with this one. The server's been pretty stable. I think we tried multiplayer when the sim first came out, 2024, and it just wasn't all that great. Alright, let's go and get our top descent. London Control, Flyer 1 Romeo Papa, ready for descent.
Flyer 1, Romeo Papa, Serum 1, Charlie, runway 27, descend to flight level 180.
Serum 1 Charlie.
Why is it not doing... See, I don't understand this. Sometimes it changes the arrival, or it changes the landing. I mean, cruise altitude. Alright, how do I fix that again? Descent, program... No, that's not right. Cruising, here we go. Well, can I change it here? Now can I? There we go. I don't know if that's a bug or what, but sometimes it just like changes my cruise altitude. It didn't change. Nice. Alright, looking good. Let's bring out a little bit of drag. No, I'm not doing drag. I'm just saying speed brake. Let's bring out a lot of speed brake. Alright, looking good, looking good. Okay, I think it's stable. I think it's looking pretty good. Alright, we should be on the ground here in about 20-ish minutes, 25 minutes maybe. Try to land on the FO spot, Lex. You want me to try the landing from the first officer's seat? You want me to try to land from the first officer's seat at London City in the 319? I'm not that crazy. I'm not that crazy. Although I don't think it'll be that different. Well, yeah, it will be. Oh yeah, that really is different. That really does mess with you a bit. It looks so weird. It looks so weird being on this side. Is this the right spot? Yeah, pretty close. A little bit more over. Right about there. Oh man, it looks so funky. This is what I normally fly, right here. And this would be the first officer view, right there. You are the pro cap. Oh man, that looks so weird. I would get so confused. When I'm looking for like information right away, I wouldn't be able to find what I'm looking for. I wonder how difficult it is. How, like, because like first officers typically will fly from the right seat. Oh, spoilers can be disarmed. Challenge, huh? Yeah, I don't know if that's so much of a challenge, more of like a death warrant, a death wish. That's what I see that as, a death wish. I don't have my maps linked up.
Descend to flight level 200. Ryanair 6 Victor Juliet.
Greenstone 78 X-ray Tango. London Control, expect radar vectors. ILS runway tree 2.
It looks so weird.
Expect radar vectors. ILS runway 2.
It's such a goofy thing. It shouldn't look that much weird. That much weirder.
Romeo Papa, contact London
But it does.
118, decimal 475.
Goal.
Control 118, decimal 475, flyer 1, Romeo Papa.
Alright, we have a
Flyer 1, Romeo
Cessna
Papa,
152.
Cessna
Ooh, they got the
Charlie, flight level 25,
WB Sim 152 add-on. Very cool. Some planes don't show any information underneath. Is it because they're too far away? There's two planes over here, actually. Master copy's up there yet. Hasn't started descent. Question, maybe I missed it, but on what hand do you have the joystick, left or right? So when I first started simming, it was on the right because I'm right-handed. But once I bought the Honeycomb Bravo, then I had to switch over. So then left, and it took a lot for me to learn left, right? But I now use a Honeycomb Alpha. I've been using that for a couple of years. But I fly with my left hand. So I only hold the left part of the yoke. But when I was using the Wing side stick, left for sure. And if I ever end up getting the Moza AB9, left for sure. Left for sure. But yeah, my first, at least in 2020, my first flight stick was the Thrustmaster, the combo, the throttle, I don't remember what it's called, but the throttle and joystick. And that was left-handed though too. Now that I think about that, I think that's left-handed. Yeah, I'm almost positive that's left-handed. But I ended up switching over to right because just comfort level. I just couldn't nail a landing right. Oh yeah, this looks right. This looks correct. I can't for the life of me get used to using the left hand. Yeah, it's a struggle. It really is. I really struggled with it. And even to this day, like when I do switch over to the joystick, it's something. Even, and that's the thing that's weird, is even like again, I'm using a yoke, but I'm only using my left hand. You know, pulling back, pushing forward, left and right. I'm only using my left hand. I never use my right hand. I never, like a car, I don't use both hands on the steering wheel. With the yoke, I'm only using one hand. But even converting that little bit to a stick instead of a yoke, it messes with your head. It really does. I can't make the transition to captain. Gotta get those flight hours in. Gotta get the flight hours in. But it would be interesting to know like how hard of a transition that is in real life for captains. At least with like the Boeings, or sorry, not Boeing, the Airbus, the 320s. Because obviously your perspective's different, like we just saw Perspective's different going from first officer and captain. Whoa, there's Master Copy. Whoa, what happened there? Master Copy just flying ahead of us. Master Copy has places to be. Did you do time acceleration, Master Copy? That was hilarious. That was crazy. Master Copy's like, I got things to do, I got places to be. The 330, 350, and 380. Yeah, for sure. .8 Mach. No. What happened? Did you turn on what's it called? Afterburners? You all saw it live like I did too. I'm just saying. This is video evidence. What I think's going on here is Master Copy's gonna try the landing. He wants to beat the -190. So he's gonna do a couple practice landings before we get there. Just so that he can claim, you know, I got -190 here in London City. Oh, you hit the wrong button. That was great. 16,000.
Descend to flight level 160, flyer 1 Romeo Papa.
Because, like, okay, think about this. Like, when people get their PPLs, the majority of them spend their time in the left seat, right? You know, you're just if you do a discovery, you'll be in the right, and you might be in the right a couple times, but primarily you're in the left. So your mind's prepared for left. But if you ever change that, you end up becoming a CFI. Like, now you're teaching from the right seat to the left seat, right? So your perspective's different. Does that mess with your mind too? It's rather interesting. Oh, you hit on the expedite button? Kansas City is going bye-bye with pressing the wrong button. Alright, passing 17. Remember, we can't get any lower than 10,000. We're going to be at 210. And then we will get radar, well, we better get radar vectors over to runway 27 for the ILS. That's a good day to fly. Weather's good and calm. A little windy, but pretty good overall. My plan today is I got a couple adulting things I have to take care of. But after that, I'll probably end up going over, and I got 3 more flights I need to do to get my 10 for the week. So I'll probably do at least 2 more flights today, and then do a few flights on Sunday. So I'll easily get my 10 for the week. That's kind of what my plan is for pretty much today. And tomorrow I won't be able to get very much flying in. Maybe one flight in the late evening, maybe. We'll kind of see how I feel how the day goes, but I should see how I feel. But so they said 16. I'm gonna keep going. That's fine. MS Official is live on Twitch. All right. I'm not on Twitch, so I can't rate them. YouTube should add a rating feature. Like, it's not like there's somewhat of a feature in there, but it's not the same. You can't just push a button and send people over. Actually, we do have a restriction at 16 here. What the hell? Let me go. I'll do 14. I'll hold at 14. I should have been holding at 16. I lost track of where I was. Now if I was in the first officer spot, I wouldn't have lost track. It would have all been fine. See? Will's right. Need to be on over to the other side. This is how you learn things. We know how the future works, Lex. So I think this is our city right down here. Our city. This is our airport. This is our city. Alright. No, it's not our airport. Ours is over here. I think where this helicopter is, somewhere around that area. This is Heathrow, right? Pretty sure that's Heathrow. We think further than the devs. Alright, what the hell? Why isn't it holding? Alright, we'll hold right here. I should have put 16 in there. That's my mistake. I thought we were further down the road. I'm surprised the plane went that far down, though, 'cause is there not a restriction? Huh. Yeah, something got goofed up, because it should not have let us go this low. Oh well. Master copy did the same thing. That's weird. Oh well. Alright, folks, we're almost at London. Or in London. You can see the photogrammetry compared to everything else. Huge difference. Oh, Will, we know I'm not even a first officer. I'm like baggage handler. I'm like baggage handler. Warned you about this approach. Will, you have to have the mindset that you can do it. Small to the airport. We could have landed this one. We could have made that happen. There's plenty of space. Yeah, so there's Heathrow. And our airport, I think, is right here. I think that's where that helicopter is. Pretty sure. So London is where my wife and I and our friends are considering going to visit at some point. Some stutters here. Oh yeah, Master. So Master, I need you to be at the end of the runway in case, you know, the unexpected happens, which means I can't stop the plane and we go into the water. I need your plane to protect us. I need you to be like bumper cars. Alright, after big we can drop down to 10,000. Now, London is one of those airports, or not airports, London City is one of those places where a lot of people do benchmark tests because it is a very heavy photogrammetry area and there's just a very condensed. So we probably won't have great FPS here. Not going to be terrible, but it probably won't be great. Love you too, man. Alright, so we should be able to see our airport, maybe. Alright, so it's not where the helicopter is. Where the hell is the airport? It's up here a little bit. Oh, it's right here. There's our airport. I've taken off from London City. I don't know if I've landed. Yeah, I've landed in London City before. I don't remember what plane, though. Well, London's kind of, you know, got a little... missing a couple buildings here and there. What happened? Downsizing? Yeah, so it's going to bring us out pretty far so we can at least prepare ourselves for disaster. Right now we have a tailwind. Tailwind of 30 knots. Tailwind of 30 knots. Jesus. There's champers. Are they... They're just doing a flyby. I don't think they're going in for a landing. They're going real fast. Or we're going real fast. Or we're both going real fast. Flyover? Where's master copy? Uh-oh. Oh, weird. Master copy, I lost you. Oh, wait. No, there you are. Alright, here's our 10,000.
Descent to flight level 100. Flyer 1, Romeo Papa.
Cheap Europe, man. Your scene looks way better than mine. But what kind of system do you have? I always forget. I think you said before. Getting these like random stutters that are happening though. It's that damn Heathrow. Heathrow, like, it's heavy for me at least on FPS. I don't remember if I have any builds Heathrow or if I have the default. I think I have the default airport. I should probably change to any builds maybe. It's wild to think that like the default LAX compared to the init builds LAX, I have better performance with the any builds LAX than I do with the default. That's so wild. That's so wild. Alright, we got 32 nautical miles. What? They really bring us that far out? Can I get a shortcut? 4070. Way better. That's weird though. 4070 can handle things pretty good. Are you like 1080p or are you 1440? You never flew in England, so it stutters. Duh. Alright, coming up on 10,000. 1440p. Okay, yeah, so the 4070 would be pretty tough to do 1440p. At least trying to achieve more than 60 FPS. With beyond ATC and traffic. Bless us all as we have no idea what we're doing. Agreed. Agreed. Now here's the question. Here's the question that is asked many, many of times to you know, to large content creators, and that question is: I'm getting like, can you see that on this stream? Let me zoom in here. You see like the flashing? Like, watch right here. The hell is that? I thought it was my monitor at first. It's weird. Okay, anyways, back to the question, the important question. The question is, if you were on a passenger plane and both pilots got sick, do you feel confident everything you've done in the sim? Let's say you're on a plane that you've flown with for a very long time in the sim. Do you feel comfortable? Would you feel comfortable in being like, yo, is there any other pilots on the plane? No. Or is there any pilots on the plane? No. It's just you. Can you land the plane? You know, if you have 1,000 hours in the Phoenix, do you feel confident in your skills to get the plane on the ground safely? There's no white flashing, just check your eyes. I remember when that first happened. So I have an OLED monitor, and with an OLED monitor, you're supposed to refresh the pixels so there's no burn-ins. Okay. So I remember seeing that for the first time, and I was like, oh my god, I got burn-ins already happening. And then I realized it was in the sim itself, not part of the. It wasn't the monitor doing it. This is really far. I wonder why they bring us so far out. It's crazy. Oh, Will, you have the little flashes too? The master copy be like, I got this. I feel I would be confident enough on landing the plane. And why I say that is because I feel that with all of it, and it would, I'd say I would feel confident in either the 175, the E-Jet, or the 190 or the 319. One of these two planes. I don't think I'd feel confident in like the 737 or 777, 350, nothing like that. I think a plane that's more flown by the computer, right? I would feel comfortable and confident in the 319. I would be a little bit more nervous with the E-Jet because the E-Jet doesn't have like auto land. Definitely helps having some experience, but I don't know if you can land it that smoothly. Oh yeah, you probably wouldn't land it very smoothly. Survivability landing probably, but not smooth. As you hit the ground, you come to a stop. Get on the ATC. All right, we're on the ground. What was my what was my landing rate? That's the important part. I don't care if like you see fire on the back and you know passengers screaming, the mask fall down. What was my landing rate? That seemed butter. That seemed pretty butter to me. Alright, clear direct to Godly. And clear direct to ILS 27. Or hold on. Clear for the ILS 27. Alright, cool. So we're clear for the ILS, so that means we're going to go direct to Lavno. So we're going to clear out this disco, insert this, and we're going to have our new approach set in there, so we're clear for the ILS after this point. It'd be a bumpy one. Where is FO? I kicked him off. I kicked him out. I don't need a first officer. It's for suckers, man. If you're using a first officer when you're flying, you're not a real pilot. Right here, I said it first. If you're using a first officer, you're not a I forgot to launch it, actually. I forgot to launch FO. I also am still having the button issue, a key binding issue, so I think for the most part I'm going to wait for V6 to come out sometime in the fall, and then kind of see how it works from there. I love it, I really do, but it just, I get really, when my mind works in one way, and that is, if there's a problem and something's not working, I must fix it. And that's the only thing that's on my mind. I can't have an enjoyable experience, even if it's a minor issue. I can't have an enjoyable experience until I figure out what the hell the issue is. All right, we're cleared for the ILS, so I'm gonna go ahead and assume we can start a descent then. That's 2,000. A 4th of July crash. I got it, and all I did was sit and fly a bit confused with it. Alright, so we're starting our descent. It said we're cleared for the ILS, right? So cleared means cleared to descend as well, right? Maybe? Approach Flyer 1 Romeo Papa. So just wondering, if I can't stop on the runway, what's going to happen to my plane? Okay, so the worst that could happen is potential damage and safety risks. Potential. They said the word potential in there. Potential. It didn't say will happen. It just says potentially. If we may, and the big word in there was may. We may overrun. May. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It just means we may overrun it, and we may potentially cause some damage. Safety risks are in there too. Maybe. Well, it doesn't say maybe for safety risks, so we do have some safety risks, regardless. I guess I gotta tweak the settings a little bit. Is it a stutter fest for you? London is heavy, though, in performance. It's always been one of the reasons why I don't fly in or out of Heathrow. And then, what's the other one? There's one in Germany that's heavy as well. I don't remember which airport it is, but one in Germany, is it Berlin? I don't remember. One of the airports there is heavy, really heavy with performance too, at least on my system. All right, we're making it, folks. Here we go. Again, remember, manage your speed the best we can. That and FSFO. FSFO though shouldn't really take much out of the performance. Shouldn't. Because it's all run through FSU IPC for the most part. So that shouldn't be too bad. Like Beyondatc is definitely, with traffic, is the biggest performance hog because of traffic. Alright, we were supposed to land like 10 minutes ago, but it has come way out here because Beyondatc cannot do shortcuts currently. But if you if you look at APL, like other planes doing the exact same thing we're doing for the arrival, so they're all probably using APL. I mean, not APL. Of course, they're using APL. They're probably all using Beyondatc or FSHUD or something like that. You know, these three planes were all lined up perfectly, so we all did the same thing. These two, we'll see what happens, but they're probably going to come doing the same thing. Not the performance, just generals and just the settings in general. Ah, okay. All right, new update. ETA is 1840, so 15 minutes. 15 minutes to go 28 nautical miles. That's crazy. Well, that's more like 30. 5 nautical miles.
J transition. Lux Air 4684. Lux Air 4684. Descend to flight level 090.
7,000.
Descend to flight level 090. Lux Air 4684.
Winds are 18 headwind, so 27 was the best runway, so that's good news.
2 Alpha November. 900 feet. Flyer 72 Alpha November.
Master copy 1837 for me.
Identified.
Your landing rate was 1837? Or what's 1837? 1837. Approach mode limited. Oh.
Flyer 1 Bravo Juliet. Contact London Control.
Approach performance limited.
475.
That's not a good sign. Let's see. Our arrival, runway 27. Apply it. Refresh it. Apply it. And why does it not carry our landing rate? Why doesn't it pull it automatically? Where do I get my landing? I don't remember. I don't know how to do that. Performance. Program. Yeah, and I said I could land a plane. What if I do 13-0? Not ideal, I guess. We might die. We might die. There's a strong possibility. Alright, standard pressure is gone away. Altimeter here is, or QNH I should say, is 10, what was it? 1021. 1021. Can't see the field. APL. That's my landing. Oh, that's my landing time. Oh, okay. I was like, if you had 1837, what the hell am I gonna get? Joe's not sharp. Too late, my man. It's only 1:30 p.m. here locally for me. This is how I am p.m. I think I can see your plane now, Master Copy. Yeah, there's Master Copy's plane. This would be cool. Alright, 5,000 feet. 319 is faster than you. Joe was not sharp. Well, that should have been a given. Alright, 20 nautical miles out. Pretty good so far. Famous last words. Let's see. So we had one plane that cut over to this side. This one's following the path still. So either they're not going where we're going, or they took a shortcut. I guess this plane though is using some sort of ATC. Well, I guess you can't see it. Whoops, bring it up. Oops. So, oh, where'd that plane go? Oh, must be this plane. Look like they took a shortcut. Oh, Master Copy, we're catching you pretty fast. This plane is following this path still, it looks like. Surely you can't be serious. I just want to say good luck. We're all counting on you. The Godot Airplane. Fantastic movie. APO's forgiving. I am not. What the Vector? Vector Victor? That was a classic movie, man. That's just a classic. Just a classic. That's one of those movies where you hope they never reboot. It was a perfect movie for its time, you know? Just a perfect movie. Alright, we lost Master Copy. What happened there? Master Copy, what happened? Did you hit another wrong button? I don't see the runway yet. Do you get anything special for the event? You get a pat on the back. No, you get 100% more XP. Is that correct, Simbit World? I think it's 100% more XP. And you get, I think this one's like 300 cash. Like Simbit's gonna send you a check for 300 bucks. I think it's 300. I can't remember. No taken in the scene. Oh, okay, taken in scenes. Hope you guys in the tower doesn't unplug the runway lights. Where the hell is the airport? This is the last thing you want to hear from the pilots. Where's the airport? Oh, there it is, right there. Alright, airport in sight. Airport in sight. Runway in sight, airport in sight. Oh boy. Alright, first notch of flaps are coming out. Hope I'm writing the checks now. It's all based on the landing, though. You botch the landing, you get nothing. Oh, stutters. Alright, first notch of flaps are out. Speed's coming down, looking good. We're doing a flaps 3 arrival, as we do. A little late on the config. Let's go dual AP. Oh, what happened? Oh, I can't do a dual. Alright. Oh, we're high, aren't we? No, we're low. We're doing alright. Alright, AP's off my aircraft. Speeds are looking decent. You were correct with the bonuses. Okay, 100%, and then you get, I think it's the 300 and additional cash. So instead of getting like whatever the 80 bucks you get with the airline, you get more cash. Alright, there's their airport. It says we're low. Well, I'd rather be low for this arrival. Alright, flaps 3 out. Let's go to landing here. Alright, here we go, folks. Wish me luck. Spoilers are armed. Arrival check is pretty much ready. If we can do this, we can almost do anything. Now, London, this is beautiful. This is gorgeous. Gorgeous, I say. Alright, I don't want to be too low. Here we go. Alright. I'm happy with where we are. Winds are looking pretty good. 13 knots, 12 knots now, so we're slowing down. Last update I have is 12 knots. So this is going to be about our winds, and the direction is 220, which is about where they are now. A little off by 30 degrees. Fourth landing in Europe. I've landed a couple times in Europe. We're off for glide slope.
Glide slope.
Shut up.
Glide slope.
Shut up. I gotta turn it up there. Oh, I'm not gonna go up there. Won't be able to see. What button is that? Here we go. Alright, we are a little low. It's alright, it's alright. Again, I'd rather be low. We're landing. It's gonna happen. Regardless.
500.
It still says we're low. I feel like we're high. Alright, we gotta get this sucker on the ground pretty quick. Smiley's out there watching us fail. Woo, 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 woo. Take it easy, take it easy.
100.
Oh, we might clip these lights.
Too low. Terrain.
We got it, we got it.
50.
Too low.
30,
Terrain.
20. Retard.
Tart.
Retard.
Bring it down, 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 bring it down. Touchdown. Reversers. Stomp on the brakes. Whoa. Getting that frame gen issue. Oh, we got plenty to work with. What are y'all scared about? Reversers stowed. Welcome to London City, folks. We got some traffic here. We're gonna get off this runway though, because master copy is gonna be coming in. We got it. Alright, flaps are up, landing lights are off. We're taking the whole runway. Spoilers are off. We got traffic back up here. Whoa, what the hell happened? Oh, Smiley just took off? Or what's it? Yeah, Smiley. Alright. I'll say that wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great, wasn't terrible. Alright, I don't know if this plane's broken or what's going on there. Alright, see if we can watch master copy. This is the Orbex, where the hell am I going to park at? There's parking spots there, I guess. We're not going to make it. Alright, we might have clipped a light pole. Might have. There's a chance. It said safety risks. It said safety risk. It didn't say may. It said there's going to be safety risks. We might have clipped that one. Master copy's looking pretty good. Touchdown. Very, very nice. That's a pro right there. That's how you land a plane. A little on the left, you know. NASCAR driver's right. It's alright. Good job, Matt. Look at that. Look at it. Slowed down like a pro. Like a pro. Let me get off this area here. Downing Street, one man, great. Nice job, master copy. We got some traffic coming behind you. You better get off the runway. Oh, that AI traffic, that was like a 5,000 landing rate. That was awful. Master copy's about to get killed. Nice knowing you, master copy. there it is. It's over. Oh, I just got a speeding warning. Damn it. Dang, nabbit. Well, definitely not getting 100%. I think I lost my... I think I went too far. That's not a spot, is it? Where am I gonna park at? That was cool. That was really cool. That was fun. There's a bunch of white liveries here. I don't know why. Alright, I don't think this is a parking spot, but you know what? After that landing, we deserve it. We're taking it. It's assigned to us. Alright, taxi lights are off. Parking brake is set. Over here, Phoenix. We're going to get the GPU chocks. Beautiful, grand, all connected. External power on. Normal. Engine 1 and 2 are turned off. Let's hope to gosh we got a good landing rate. Oh, that's a butt. Master copy found a spot. I saw a little stutter. Great. Yeah, that was a really good landing, Master copy. That looked really, really good. Very solid. Better than mine. All right. Landing rate today. What do we get for this flight? That was fun. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that one. Landing rate. Logbook. Tearing up the checks for the speed and the light pole. A 98 for the scores. They got 158 XP. I'll take that. That's not bad. That's a, what, 80 bonus? That's like an extra flight, free flight. Oh, 2 extra free flights. Landing rate was a 184. 184. I got failed on the speed. Dang. Dang nabbit. A 184 is not bad. I'll take that. Well, what we had to work with, trying to get this plane to stop and nervousness and all that, that's a positive. Master copy. What is the number? What did you get? We got a 184 with APL. Let's try Valanta. Valanta. Review flights. 190. They're telling me a 190 from Valanta. 190. Waiting for Master Copy. Master Copy's going to come in. He's going to have like a minus 50. Too forgiving APL is. Simbit World like hacked into it. He's like, I got to make sure, you know, he's live streaming now. We got to make sure it looks really, really good so that people buy APL. They get these good landing rates with APL. So you get a 190. Oops. A 190 with Volanta. And then, was it minus 180 something? What did I say? 184. Not bad. 258, Matt. Really? 258, huh? It looked better than that, for sure. That was 424. Oh, yeah, because that long-ass arrival. It's pretty much like, what was it, 40 nautical miles? I forgot about that. Yeah. Really? That's crazy. 258. I sure thought it definitely looked a lot better than that. That was a really cool flight, though. Really, really cool flight. London City looks great as always. Again, this is the Orbex one. I don't think it's been converted over to 2024, so that might be why the water's kind of weird here, but nevertheless. And like the performance here, I'm looking at it really nicely. I'm getting max frames, which I have it capped at 116. VRAM is just under 11. And that's mostly the Phoenix that hogs up a bit of VRAM. Of course, the photogrammetry plays a big factor into this as well. Not bad at all. But I got a 100, though. Nice. All right, well, see, that's the thing. That's all that matters. As long as you get the 100, unlike me, who ends up with a 98 and a 99 on the first flight, you know, as long as you get that 100, that's all that matters. Great stream again, Joe. Bit short, but very nice. When do we see more of this boring stuff, my friend? Tuesday. Tuesday we'll do 2 flights as well. And we'll figure out where. I don't know exactly. We'll see what's going on with Pilot's Life and see what flights I have going on in there. But definitely Tuesday will be the next day for stream. But thanks everyone for coming in. Simbit World, thanks for coming out and hanging out with us today. Master Copy, Will, Irishman, Barry was here for a bit. Who else was here? I'm missing a couple other people. Jim was here today as well. And who else came in? Oh, Jay was here. Yeah, Jay Russ, thanks for coming in as well. I think that's about everyone. There might have been some other people I might have missed. But hey, thanks everyone for coming in again. This is a lot of fun. And Tuesday will be the next flights with an S. And we'll see everyone then. All the best, everyone. You as well, Simbit. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for making an awesome program. And this was a lot of fun today. So enjoy the weekend for those on the weekend. Happy 4th for those here in the U.S. And we'll see everyone on Tuesday. Have a great time.